get to sit down and discuss all things Swugger and not Swugger related. With this many W's, how could you possibly be losing? How are my co-hosts doing? Carthy, Wolf, how are you doing, guys?
I am doing absolutely fine. It is Sunday. We are hanging. We are chilling, relaxing. I am somehow back in Kyber 1. Thank you,
Hey, that's funny. I'm somehow back in Kyber 2. I'm sure it's got nothing to do with the fact that I went 3-0 in the last week of 3v3 and then got faced off against the giant deep waters of Krakenville with a guy who had more GP than Karth. Yes, and I don't have Leia, and they all do. Those fucks.
But guess what? By the time 5v5 ends, you'll have Leia.
I will have a 2 Zeta Leia with no ult. A 2 Zetas. Hey, she'll have 2. All right, she'll have 2.
I mean, yeah, the leadership and the R2 Zeta start there.
yeah. I mean, we'll try and work on that, but there's only so many Zetas that I could acquire between now and the next lock-in.
I mean, I mean, it doesn't really matter because honestly, like without her ult, she's not any kind of threat. So there's really no point to get like, oh my god, like I gotta have it available. It's like, what does it matter? She's not a threat on defense without the ult because it's the revives are the
exactly.
Risk. I don't know if I would go that far. She puts out a lot of damage, man. You can lose some characters like real quick if you're not paying attention. Like it can go quick.
No, for sure. But
before you even get to ult.
Yeah, but it's just the fact.
I do still have the Drogonkron, so
the same.
I mean, I'm only in lowly Kyber 2 now, so I'm sure it'll be easy.
On the alternate account?
On the I thought you got back up into Kyber 1, or did you get knocked back out?
I'm still like 100 points out, or 80 points out. I'm 2-0 this week, so I might.
Okay.
I might get back into Kyber 1 after the end of next week, but we'll see what happens.
If I win this round,
like 25-60, so or 35-60, sorry.
I think if I win this round, I should jump back up, which would be nice, so I could lock in again and get a couple of extra days of 20 more crystals, which I'm gonna need. But we'll have to. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe it won't. But it's been. Well, I was going to say it's been a fun week. It really hasn't. It's been horrendous. You saw my performance on Friday. I would have absolutely won that GAC had I, not just played like utter fucking garbage the entire GAC, because he couldn't clear fleet.
Head out of rectum.
Yes, literally. He couldn't clear fleet. He had left one fleet, but he won by 50 banners. So because I was so incredibly inefficient, I lost by 50. Wolf, you should have seen me. I was just dropping every single battle. I was just like, yeah, this is fucked. This is fucked. Don't worry. It was not good. You were there. Yeah, it was not good. Wolf, it wasn't my proudest moment. There were battles where I was like, I should have won this. Touching myself. No, wait a minute. Yeah, so it wasn't good. Wasn't good at all.
I muted the stream.
Exactly. I cried a little bit. I maxed.
Need the imagery, but not the words.
Yeah. All right. So what's new in the land of Swugger, guys? What happened? Oh, I tell you what happened. We got like no new kit reveals.
Yeah, that was sad.
For Bo-Katan Mandalore, baby. I'm so excited to not read new kit reveals. I mean, we got a little something about
focusing on no new kit reveals when what we have been asking for literally for months by now. A full essay on the raid has been dropped on our sorry asses. Yeah. We still have a lot of questions.
You know what confuses me as well about that post that they dropped is that they gave us a whole fucking shitload of information. It was a veritable library of information, and I came out more informed and none the wiser. I was like, okay, so you told me a lot of stuff, and I still don't know. Like, I know how I kill enemies. I know that we need to use 8 teams instead of 5. Well done, Wolfie. Accurately predicting. Using a scientifically, what do they call it? An educated guess. It made sense. It worked out. It panned out. Yes. But there's still just a whole lot of, okay, so what are the thresholds for the crates? What's the personal reward track? What's the guild reward track? What do our abilities do?
Yeah.
That they've
Well,
replaced.
we know what those abilities do, actually, to be honest, because they're already in game. Yeah.
Oh, are they?
Well,
Oh,
a version of them are in game because they're in the Leia thing.
Yeah, but
it has the same
GL
name.
Leia's
It may be a
Ultia.
different number of stacks. They say in the post that they're gonna be balancing things and they may be doing stuff over there.
Gotcha.
So a version of that ability is in game.
Yeah,
not necessarily the version we're getting in the raid, but something that has the same name.
Yeah,
gotcha.
But it's close enough. I mean, it's gonna be. They might change the number of stacks you get. They might change how much you repair. Like a lot of those things are impacted by your secondary stats. So
what I'm reading into this is that CG just either they were being lazy with Leia's ultimate tier, or they're being lazy with the raid and just reusing assets.
Well, I'm gonna go with the second part. Is that they're reusing assets for something they were already putting together? Because it's like, why not? But I am not looking forward to that. This is the funny part. Is the Leia raid came out and it felt way too close to the crate raid, and now I'm hoping after like once we get it, I might be hoping that it's like, well, I hope the next raid comes around just as fast. Because I might be done with this already. Like staring at a moving screen for an hour every raid sounds awful.
I tell you, the thing that's kind of like, I've never played the GL Leia Ultimate tiers or anything like that, but the thing that's concerning me about the raid is raids are supposed to be fun about tackling something big. I don't see like the hype around killing a bunch of nameless scout troopers on speeder bikes. Like that doesn't feel like a big monumental event. That feels like I'm chasing down speeder bikes. The whole raid. Like, where's the hype? Like, where's the I'm killing a crate dragon, I'm killing a Sith Lord, or 3 of them?
It's along the lines of the well, them pushing out mechanically things that they want to do. Because I mean, it's we mentioned before. This is very similar to some of the stuff we see at home, where it's like it really doesn't matter
like
what
chapter
your
1 or chapter
do.
3.
Yeah, what your characters do the entire time. It's all about the mechanics of getting points through abusing or utilizing what they give you.
No, I don't play home at all. What are you talking about with the raid and stuff? Or like, what do you mean?
They have a raid in home. It's the Mines of Moria raid, and there's 4 different chapters. You fight different things in each chapter. But like chapter 1 and 3, you just fight waves of enemies, and there's mechanics that you have to activate or trigger in order to score your points. So it's like the first one, you have to get one of the characters to drop his firebomb, and it'll friendly if he drops it, it deals friendly fire. If you get it to wipe out the entire board, you get like an extra bonus points, and you get points for every time for dealing damage.
You get the big points is getting them to drop the bomb on themselves. Basically, that's the you want to try and do that because that's where all the points come from.
Yeah, so that's the objective the entire time, is not necessarily killing things, but weakening everything down enough to when the bomb goes off, it wipes out the board and you start over. And so that way you get the most points every time it happens. It's similar to what we're having in this raid, where it's like mechanically, it's not about your characters coming in and just wailing on them, and just doing tons of damage. It's like, no, we got to have characters who have different abilities so that we can mix and match everything together, so that we can go, okay, well, every run's going to need a character with this ability. So you find the 5 characters that have that, and then they become, or the 8 characters that have that, and they become a core part of your raid squad. And similar with other characters, and then you abuse the mechanics that are present because of the way they've modified the kits to now be standardized to a degree.
Yeah.
And then you use that as your way to beat it. So we're going to have a lot of
probably another reason why it kind of kills a bit of the hype for me, because it's like you're removing the unique aspects of those characters' kits.
Yeah.
Just by saying, oh, well, you're this type of character, so you get these abilities. Yeah. It's like,
the part I
now
don't
I get no uniqueness to it.
With the raid is that,
well, there are going to be uniques, there are going to be leads and everything, so those will presumably be unique.
No, there's no leaderships. They're turned off. There's no uniques.
What are you talking about?
No,
for the Swigo raid?
Yeah.
We're talking about Galaxy Heroes, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
It specifically says they're going to be reworking the uniques and leads to make sense for the raid.
Open
they
up the post.
Specifically call that out.
100%.
I'm in the middle of doing like a whole fucking like write up on the thing. Like some uniques are altered to fit the raid. They say CG Miller says at first glance the statistical rework is a lot of information to absorb, but it really boils down to the idea that the stats granted by leader and unique abilities will provide additional stats, etc. for the raid. It is effects. I say
different effects.
One of the points they say it will be reworked. The uniques will be altered to fit the raid, so they will still have uniqueness. They will still have different interactions, different abilities, and that's like what I'm saying. Like, the biggest question that I have about this post. What the hell are all those uniques? What the hell are all those leads?
Well, those
are making up a big difference. Are those going to be Leia gives everyone all the health and all the damage and all the everything, so you don't need to worry about modding?
It's going to be doing things like they're going to get those secondary stats that you can't mod a ton for, right?
That's what I mean.
Like critical avoidance and health steal and stuff like that. That's what you're going to see is they're just...
It's going to dumb it down, make it so much easier. But that's what we need to see. They're going to dumb it down
and put it on multiple characters. They're not going to... I just don't like it, man. I hate the idea.
We'll have to see. I'm withholding judgment until we see.
I just hate the idea that I'm going to have to gear a character because in the raid... it does really well, and in nowhere else it sucks. Like if Tebow is a raid monster, fantastic. Where will you use him outside the raid? That's all I don't like. I don't like them changing the kits to then fit the purpose of it, because they're going to have to make most of the characters useful, because you have 30 characters and you need 24. So you basically at this point where you're gonna get stuck doing it. So it's like
that's just
we spoke about this the other day, right?
You have to gear up things for GLs. You have to gear up things which are only good in that.
You're gonna have to.
It's the game, man.
The easiest way is to look at it, and just say, okay, we need 24 characters. Which 6 do I not want to gear?
Well, the thing is, you may not have that luxury, because, like I said, depending on how they do the uniques and the leaderships that change to make them raid appropriate, some of those characters that you wouldn't want might become absolute powerhouses and critical for the raid. It's like, so you're stuck now gearing up Ewok Scout and Tebow, because together they're good raid points, but you won't use them anywhere else. And that's all. Like, that was the difference with Crate. The investment always paid off everywhere else you had that team. R8 Hut Cartel, useful everywhere.
I mean, my Old Republic aren't doing a whole lot of work for me. I mean, Jawas are just kind of shit whatever cleanup squad.
Yeah, but you don't...
Some of the leftover bounty hunters I didn't really need.
The other thing, too, unless you're in a guild
lot of these guys are good characters that you already have at Relics. I already have a lot of these rebels at Relics. I already have... I mean, you're not going to tell me that Leia's not going to be good, that Han and Chewie aren't going to be good, that all these characters are not going to be good in this raid.
No, we're not telling you that.
I mean, you're going to have all these characters at Relics. It's not going to be that big of a deal. Like, I mean, and we're talking about Jawas over there in the crate raid. If you went and invested in your Jawas, sorry, they suck. So it's all the good characters are good anyways.
Depending on where you're at. I'm with you. Depending on where you're at and what you need to score, you can probably skip a lot of it and it'll be fine. But if you want to do like towards the upper end of the damage, you're gonna be putting R8s on characters you don't use anywhere else. Like,
this is coming from Karth, who I think has at least R7 on every single one of the raid characters. I think you said it before.
Hey, I can still be upset about it.
I should be complaining about this, damn it.
No. I'm playing the game the way CG wants me to play it. Okay, I'm never going to deny that part of it. But there are still things that annoy me. It's like, you can still do something and be like, well, I don't like it. You know, it's just where we're at.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean,
it's just a frustrating part
until it actually releases and see, you know. And if, like you're saying, if they could be a little bit more generic, then it may end up being that, oh, cool, Scout is good, or you can just use Wicket, or you can just use 3PO, or you can just use that. And if it's a little bit more generic, then gear up who you want to gear up, and you can get away with it.
I'm hoping that the characters themselves don't really matter so much, so I can just have autonomy to choose which characters. But ultimately, I'm going to be... I'm going to take the approach of
the rebels and the the Imperial characters and say
I'm just going to try and, you know, like, maximize the amount of benefit I can get from this raid in the shortest period of time and then forget it. You know, like I want to hit this amount of damage, this amount of points, and then I'm never investing in these raid characters again unless, they're actually good outside the raid.
How many R8s I need to slam down to get the average needed for the 265 box equivalent. That's what I want to know, because that's all I care about. Is like if you need to do like 3 or 4 teams to get there because they reduce the points by a lot, then it just forces people to relic stuff up higher and higher. And I just don't like the mentality of, well, you got to do this, you have to do this if you want the Mark III tokens, which are critical for a lot of end game development. And then in 6 months, you're gonna throw it all out the fucking window, and you're gonna start over. You're gonna do different teams again. Like that's just the part I don't like. I don't like being forced to upgrade something to then turn around, throw it out the window, and do it again. It's like it's Datacrons, but just a slightly longer time frame. And I'm like, that's just it's just not.
It's
not
6 to 9 months instead of 4 months, but the investment feels bigger. Sorry.
I say, do you realize what game like this? That's how the game has always been. Like you move to the, you get the investment, you go to the next thing, you get the investment, you move to the next thing.
That's 100% different. When you bring up a team, the team's done. You don't have to go back and go, okay, well, magically they lost their relic levels. I need to re-relic them again to have my team. Like that doesn't happen with your characters. It's Datacrons have done that for 2 years. Yeah, you're right. That part's always been, well, invest in whatever we make powerful. It's like, okay, I get that, but the grind is that it's just that it's specifically it's for one game mode for 6 to 9 months, and then it's thrown out the window indefinitely because you'll never go back to it because they have taken the rewards that you want away from there. It's the same reason why I'm praying to God that the Scout Army is dog shit. Because
you don't want to play it.
I don't want to put an army on there that doesn't do anything after 6 weeks. Like
we did speak about this a few times, haven't we? Where it's like they have to make that scout army so powerful that he can like underman max school something. Because otherwise, why would you put it on?
To be fair, real quick, Karth, how long have you been playing the game? Like, were you around in the time where people brought up their TiVos and stuff specifically for the raids, and they were only good in that game mode?
I wasn't playing till after Sith Triumvirate came into the game.
So I mean, that's been a thing with raids and everything, and people brought up characters specifically for that and done those things just with that purpose in mind. And like that's not new to the game. But I know it's a valid complaint. I'm saying
those things were done though for people who wanted to maximize their scores, not just to participate in the raid. That's
to get through it. Just to get through it.
I mean, sorta. You could
the phase through HAAT raid just to get through it. You needed a lot of people working together to get that that going.
But I mean, you didn't have to have all these crappy teams put together because they weren't the only option of teams that were good at it.
I can't speak. It was before my time. No. I remember that happening in Heroic Sith, but they weren't like crappy teams. Like you needed a JTR for phase 1, for example. When everybody was running JTR stuff. Oh yeah, Chex Mix and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Chex Mix.
Yeah.
Night Sisters with Anakin before they nerfed it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they never ended up nerfing it. They threatened.
Yeah, they never did.
You're right.
But for the longest time, that cheese wasn't even aware. People didn't know it.
They did nerf OG Finn into the floor with that because of that raid.
HAAT and 3PO because they used to his lead there. Yeah.
Shakti clones. I remember Shakti clones coming in and you could solo the HAAT. I was like, Shakti clones. Or was it people were using Young Han as well, right?
Yeah.
People using the Young Han to solo the HAAT. I think was it McMole that did a video on that? The YOLO solo team. I remember that.
You could take shot clones from about 50% in Sith Raid Phase 2 and go through to the end. Not the end of phase 2 to the end of phase 4.
You had to get a really quick sacrifice on 5s, didn't you, to get the stat boost so that you could actually click because Scion in phase 2 was the chunkiest phase, and you were in real risk of it just being a just not killing him before he hits in rage. So you needed to get like the early sack, and then you just need to pound on Scion until that was cool. I used to do that.
You need to like late enough to start so you could like get him down, but also early enough so you could stack up Shakti's crit damage on Arc and Echo, so they were actually like putting out more damage. So it was like a whole freaking thing. I missed that.
It was good.
Man.
Yeah, that's
kinda
when
miss
raids were
doing stuff
cool.
like
You
that.
could get like 70 odd million or something with Shakti. I can't remember now. It's a while back. But and now you can basically solo it with gas. So I mean, times change.
God.
I mean, you can do so much with like Slacker. It's like Slacker, but like
Yeah.
in all raids except for the crate, which because he's not
He's so shit in the crate raid. Every time I've used Slacker in crate, he's just been shit. It's absolutely
how would you even
trash.
know? You just got Slacker. You don't even know.
Shut up, Garth.
Have you ever even tried? Gosh.
Yeah.
I have never used my Slacker in the Sith raid. Never.
Garbage.
You should go and talk to your guild and convince them to go back so you can release a video on how to solo the Sith raid with Slacker in 2023. Or better yet, you can go and pave new ground over here. You can figure out how to solo the Sith raid with Galactic Legend Leia.
Oh god, yeah. Fucking manually do phase 1 and then hit auto, probably.
No, I don't think Leia's got the. I don't think she's got the damage. Like the reason why Slacker works is because the damage he ramps damage, and that's the reason why JMK works is because he ramps damage. Leia doesn't ramp damage very quickly.
It's actually because of Cat with JMK. Like Cat ramps damage.
Well, that helps too, but JMK, every time you use his ult, it doubles the mastery, right?
Of course,
and every time you target somebody with an ability, you increase their mastery. So you have a way to ramp damage across the team consistently. I know. Yeah. Where Leia's only way to ramp mastery is when people attack at a turn, which doesn't happen very frequently in the raid. So, and it's only
Scion.
How are we gonna ramp this?
Scion does. If you don't cleanse off the fractured in P2, he's going to counterattack almost every time. So there's that. And P2 is the one you're worried about mostly. And then I suppose you've got the lightsabers in P3. They've got retribution sometimes.
This is great.
Hey man, this is why old raids were better, man. The Heroic Sith raid was the best raid they ever released, in my opinion.
Oh, it was a great raid. Oh yeah.
I mean, it was fun. The mechanics were interesting. There were options. The longer we had more time to explore of what we needed to do, it took us a while to beat the raid. Where it's like the new ones are all just like, well, you need to have a raid to do, but we don't want you to feel bad about not having teams for it. So we're just gonna say, go play. Go play. We'll let you. We'll let you into the playground. You're gonna get beat up, but we'll let you into the playground.
Yeah. I don't know. It's
So go script.
I was just gonna say it feels like raids these days are more just. It feels like they're a more blatant way of just getting people to relic up shit than for the purpose of being a fun process. Yeah. I get it. At the end of the day, relicing them in teams that you need to is still going to translate into performance in TB or more GP at the very least in TB to deploy it. It'll all help in one way or another, and eventually we'll have too many characters already relicked that when the new raids come out, we'll already be in Carth's position where he's got everything.
I mean, they have 260 some odd characters in the game right now.
Yeah. So after 10 raids, we'll literally have everything.
Yeah, well, if they're gonna keep doing like 30 characters a raid, you're just gonna
eventually need to refresh. Yeah, they need to reuse characters.
So they need to release 24 characters each year that are all specifically geared towards the new raid.
Hey, they're already half the way there with doing Hut Cartel.
Well, Home is like, those are rookie numbers. You need to pump those numbers up. With their 3 marquees a month.
Releases like 4 marquees a month. It's
fucking
ludicrous.
Crazy. It is. I can't keep up. Like a new character comes out, I'm not even slightly interested. I'm just like, okay, yeah, fuck it, just go through.
Even if you were interested,
can't do anything.
You don't have the resources to even do anything with it, unless you whale more. It's like it's just a dumb mechanic. They're just like, well, brand new character, it's gonna really help bolster this faction. Cool. Any chance you're gonna like increase the upgrade materials? No? All right, then I'm sticking with my current project because
the gold and the XP. It's too hard. But we're in a different world with Swigger. Swigger, it's actually Galaxy of Heroes is actually possible. New character comes out. You're like, yeah, I'll take this guy to level 85. I'll take him up to gear 11. And then you just wait for it to become farmable, or you carth it, and then you relic it. You're like, well, hey, we're there. We can. Hey, or if you don't have the gear, you're like, let's just finish off a
game, yeah.
Let's just finish off the raid and get all the raid currency, and then that gives me the gear that I need. It's a lot easier these days. Yeah. That's okay.
And like you were saying with the raid is definitely very blatantly a way to get you to relic your characters.
Sure.
They have stuff like in the crate raid. It very specifically says, I think, like at Relic 7 for the Tuscans, like they start doing more damage and everything. They start doing more stuff based on the momentum. At Relic 7, also Maldalorians, they just straight up do more damage and take less damage. Great, congratulations, you're Relic 7 the squad. Now you just win.
Yeah, that really annoys me because it's like it like you could have. Because the stupid thing about that is you could have a full Relic 8 Maldalorian team, yeah, and you could take it in at tier 4, and you wouldn't do very well because you're not gaining the bonuses from the tier. That makes no fucking sense to me. That makes no fucking sense to me at all. It's like the strategy's the same, the modding's the same, the Relic levels are the same, but because I'm not choosing the right difficulty level, I'm actually scoring worse, and I'm performing worse.
Yeah.
Like
what? The Tuscans on the alt, like they're R5, and I can barely score between like 600 and 800 points, or 800,000.
I was going to say 1,000.
Yeah. On that, but then on the main account, they're R7, and I could sneeze and hit the 1.8 mil. Like it's the run is so hard to misplay. Like you have to intentionally misplay the crap out of it to not be able to score well. And I'm like, this is such a dumb way to play the game, because it's basically like, if you don't want to invest in these brand new characters we just released for this brand new raid, then sorry.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
I mean, one thing I am looking forward to, though, is that, it means I'm going to have to relic up a bunch of my Imperial Troopers, and I'm so psyched about that. Like, give me a reason to relic my Imperial Troopers. Give it to me, baby. Absolutely, I want full Relic 8 Imperial Troopers. Definitely. Fuck Afra. Who needs her?
I mean, who's on the list? Stormtrooper, Shore Trooper, Scout Trooper, Range, Gideon, Magma, Iden, Veers, Death, Stark, and Piet. Ooh, I am totally bringing Iden to Relic 8. She is so damn good. Whoo, we got some fun with this one.
I could actually have an Iden team after this. You imagine? Right? Instead of like half an Iden team, I could have an actual Iden team.
Not even that. You have an Iden team that you could put a Datacron on.
Whoa! Don't get me hard. I mean, come on. Yeah, in 3v3,
gear 8s or gear 10s or whatever they aren't really cutting it.
I mean, my Magma Trooper doesn't have any gear. And my Shore Trooper, gear 8, level 80, I think. So he's like Hyperdrive Bundle. That's what he is. Stormtrooper, fucking nothing.
The only trooper I don't have Relic is Magma Trooper, because I was working on my Iden team, and then they announced the Inquisitors, and I convinced myself that I don't need to relic up Magma Trooper, because obviously they're going to release a Purge Trooper at some point to go with the Iden team, and obviously it's going to happen, and obviously
any day now.
It just I'm still waiting for that, obviously. But,
yeah, well, obviously.
Because I just figured, how could they not bring a freaking Purge Trooper in? I mean, as soon as they announced
that we still don't. I'm just surprised by that we still don't have it, even after they're in the new TB. The kits are there, the models are there. You have the variations in the game. I'm like, you don't have to give us like we don't.
Those models are actually really cool.
Oh yeah,
the TB models in Rote are really cool.
I just need you to give me something fun to play with.
They can make an Imperial Remnant, an Imperial Trooper, an Empire, and it doesn't have to have its own.
Purge Troopers are not Imperial Remnant, even close to.
There are no phases where there's Imperial Remnant Purge Troopers.
No, because the Purge Troopers are part of the Inquisition. The Inquisition is removed from the Empire by the time of New Hope. It's completely gone.
I'd be really good at that Law with Idiots thing. Law with Idiots. It's because Scribe just doesn't know any of the lore.
Palpatine's like, well, we got most of the Jedi, right?
Yeah, I mean,
there's only
have you
Ezra
also
still out there,
noticed
and
how much Sheev Palpatine looks? Sorry, how much Sheev Chancellor Palpatine looks like the Emperor? Like, that's really creepy. That's really sus, man. Do you think they're related?
Bro, that's treason.
Bro.
Okay, I don't want to be suggesting that sort of shit. That's fucking treason.
Yeah, I'll make it legal. All right.
I will make it legal.
Yeah, it's good times.
That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely something. Definitely along.
Probably wouldn't be. Wouldn't be Remnant, but would be Empire, would be Trooper. Obviously would be Inquisitorius. I would say as well. Would be interesting to see how they would do with an actual Purge Trooper on the Inquisitorius team. So a lot of fun options there.
Well, at some point they're going to need to put it together though, because we have 2 free Inquisitors hanging around. So bring us another Inquisitor, and then bring us bring us a melee and range version of the Purge Troopers, and then
Darth wants more Inquisitors confirmed.
I do.
Well, it's CG's favorite faction, so I'm sure they'll release some more eventually.
I mean, we'll get plenty of Galactic Challenges when it drops, I promise.
Yeah. And it'll have to be it won't be just use 5 Inquisitors. It'll be use this Inquisitor that's brand new in the leadership.
Oh yeah.
So you can't use Reva.
Use Fourth Sister. Actually, I'm still surprised we don't have her, to be honest. I really thought they would have brought her in for I know she was an obscure Kenobi show ad, but they've I feel the same way with Keller and Beck. Like, why is he here?
Yeah.
Oh, because 20 seconds of screen time. All right, cool.
Yep. I mean, it was a cool 20 seconds of screen time, but still 20 seconds of screen time.
Oh. Great time, but it's just like Four Sister was in the show longer than Keller and Beck was on screen, and it's just like, we're just gonna ignore all of this. And I'm like, well, that's fine, but it's just not as.
I still think it'd be kind of cool.
The main takeaway is that they have an Inquisitor that would be fairly low hanging fruit to throw in there. So
every time people say takeaway, Merrick, what was his name? Was it Merrick? Yeah. Or Marok.
I mean, he's not necessarily a fake Inquisitor. He was just a reincarnated Inquisitor.
Inquisinator. Can we have that? Can we have the Inquisinator? That would be amazing.
He was.
I'm the Inquisinator.
I want your boots, your clothes, and your. Get to the TIE Fighter now.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I wish that they would bring into the game to fill out factions that would make some stuff interesting, but I get where they get into that part of the development cycle where it's like we got to have something that moves the needle forward for what we want to do.
Yeah, and that's okay. I don't mind that. I always, it's different. Like in Home, I don't give a shit when new characters come out. In Galaxy of Heroes, I like it when new characters come out. I'm like, ooh, this is interesting.
Yeah, because we get like 1 or 2 a month instead of and even that, like most of the ones that come out now, they're coming out with a purpose. Like, and we know what the purpose is.
What's the big thing? When they come out, they mean something, and it actually it portends you a new era of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We're now thinking about the Bo-Katan legendary. We're now heading towards this and thinking about that, and it's just. It feels like the game is taking a different direction when new characters come out. It's something pivotal is now happening because of that.
I suppose we're all in the position now, like I'm sure some of our listeners aren't, but I suppose we're in the position now that when new stuff comes out, it's not like we're thinking, oh, well, in 12 months' time, I'll do something with that. Like most of our rosters are pretty developed that a new character comes out, we can actually think about getting it pretty soon. And the gearing and the modding and the Zetas usually are just like, oh, I could just drop all this now, and I can make this character usable as soon as I get it to 7 stars. Whereas that's just not the case for a lot of other players, and certainly not in Heroes of Middle-earth. It's just like, fuck no, I can't gear this thing. I can't even level it up.
a direct line to the Federal Reserve. Like, good luck. Like,
yeah. Exactly.
Home is hands down the most expensive mobile game I have ever seen. Like, I have no idea why their packs are so expensive for getting so little.
Because there's nothing else to spend it on.
$30 for 100 or Mark III upgrade materials. That's not even enough to take 1 ability to max.
Yeah,
for $30. Even if you bought it twice for $60. Still not enough. It's enough to
if
move
it was like
the needle on
1,000,
one ability. Yeah, it's enough to move the ability from level 5 to level 6 for most everything except for I think uniques. Uniques
good.
depending on how many
100
you have.
isn't. You need like 220.
It depends how many you have. If it's 4, I think it's 200. If it's their 5th ability, then it's
220.
Then it's 220. If it's their 6th ability, then it's 240.
Yeah, so it's trash basically. $30 doesn't even let you max out an ability. It's stupid.
Just moving it one position over, like that's all it is.
Yeah.
Like I gain 100% chance now to gain counterattack, and it cost me 200 upgrade.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Not ideal.
I just don't understand that one at all. I'm really hoping. I mean, that's kind of been the advantage where Swoga came out, where he just kind of locked into these prices of what things are like valued to, and the only way they can bring out new packs worth a ton more is to have genuinely brand new packs come in that offer.
Well, CG has been really good with that lately in Galaxy of Heroes. They've been actually pushing out shit that's really good value. Like obviously we had the Lightspeed bundles recently, but even the stuff like even the GL tokens that they brought out, where you got like what was it, 200 energy and 100 tokens for $4.99 or $10. That is ridiculously good value.
It's really good, yeah.
Like, and it's a great way to, like, if somebody's getting a GL, it's such a great way to shoot yourself through those tiers, to get rid of some of the really irritating grind of a GL, which I've always thought ticket farming was asinine. Because if you've geared all the fucking characters, why the fuck do I also need to spend another 3 weeks unlocking the character and getting the ult?
Mechanic they have ever introduced in this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like you've already had to invest into 15 characters, but now, if you want to unlock this character in the next, basically, like 20 days, you need to spend 1,000 crystals a day. Good luck. This is a dumb game we're playing.
It's really dumb.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things, man. I kind of understand it to a degree. It gates some stuff, but then you have to do things that make the game not fun to play. It's like, you know how boring it is to hoard energy. Like.
No, I don't actually.
God.
Most of my hoarding is done over like 2 days.
Well, it's also expensive for crystals because you got to spend in order to get your 600, you got to use Cantina. So if you're hoarding your regular energy, you got to do an extra refreshes.
200. It costs you an extra. You got to do 200 to get there, and so you spend an extra 50 crystals a day. So it's not crazy. But it's still a net, which you could just offset by not refreshing fleets 3 times. Just refresh it twice or once or whatever else. You can make it work.
A lot of refreshing.
Well, yeah, but that's how
I find it quite refreshing.
Oh, I'm just saying for the people at home, so everyone's aware of what really goes into hoarding energy for all this stuff.
Yeah,
you're doing all your tickets are Cantina refreshes. Well,
you do because to do the daily, you can spend 36 regular energy. Because you have to do the daily to get so unless you want to skip it, so you do your 36 there, which eats up one of your refreshes or free energy, bonus energy you get, and then the remaining, because you'll get with the refreshes, 4 refreshes, that's 480. So then you just need like another 70 or whatever, and you'll have that by typically from guild refresh to guild refresh. You can generate that naturally. You just got to remember to log in and spend it. That's all.
And then you're
it's not like we never
passive energy.
No, exactly.
You're not gaining, and you have to hoard. You don't get to farm any regular energy nodes for gear, so you need to start it at a good gear hoard. Otherwise, you're gonna.
That's not viable for most of the community.
Yeah. No. This is exclusively Whaley Boy ways. This is for people that are maxed out.
Yeah, you gotta have nothing else to work on because there's no punishment for not. Like if I had to do any character shard farming, why would I be hoarding energy? Like I'm just shooting myself in the foot for 6 months until
Karth has actually forgotten that hard nodes exist. Like he hasn't seen a hard node since he was a child.
I have seen a hard node, but just only when additive drops are in the game.
Oh yeah, when you could farm Zeta nodes.
The crap out of those fleet hard nodes. I spent 1,000 crystals a day farming Zetas. I got like 6 Zetas after that 5 days.
I think I got about the same. No, not 6 Zetas. No, 6 full Zetas.
Yeah,
you crazy fucking bastard.
I spent
He
1,000
needed 'em.
crystals a day, man.
I got like
God damn.
I was going through the
3 or 4 full Zetas.
Yeah, I went through the 200s every day when it went live.
God.
But I mean,
that's how you do.
It was the cheapest way to pick up Zetas in the game. I spent roughly over the 5 days about $50 worth in crystals for the refreshes, and walked away with about 6 Zetas. The only pack that we have that sells the chance to get Zetas, besides the Lightspeed Zeta bundle that's dog shit, it gets you somewhere between 10 and 40 for $50.
Yeah.
So I got 60 mats instead of 40, which is that's a 0.1% chance to get that. So it's like, yeah, it's a better way to spend $50 than ever turn around and go, well, if we just wait till this pack comes around, then I'll spend some money so I can save some crystals. And I'm like, this is a dumb game you're playing.
Yeah.
It happens, but yeah, those extra drops are so fucking good. Holy crap!
They
wouldn't
say no to
Oh my
more.
god. They just
have you said?
massively cut down people's shard farming for Leia, and then they gave you a little bit of extra juiciness on the side for people that finished those farms. It was sick.
That's why this this 5v5 season is kind of going to be like a little bit. I don't know if I can even call it like a legitimate 5v5 season. I don't know, legitimate, whatever. It's just gonna be kind of wild because it could be changing so much as it goes on. With people who are unlocking Leia, unlocking the ultimate, getting the team worked out. People who may have had the foresight to get the Datacron for them, who not have the Datacron. It's going to be like changing, so like literally week to week. I mean, one of my opponents this week did just unlocked Leia, had Leia, and then just got the ultimate this week. People are, you're unlocking Leia for like the next week or two. People are unlocking. It's going all over the place, but just because of the Leia unlocks. This 5v5 season is just absolutely just gonna be a wild ride as it goes along.
I still haven't faced Leia on defense yet. No, that's a lie. I did face one, didn't I? But it was a non-ult Leia, so it was a piece of piss.
We ran right over the top of it.
Yeah, I completely overkilled it with JML. It was crazy.
Oh, by the way, fun story. Tenacity Leia absolutely shits on JML. It really sucks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Those ability blocks just don't land?
Well, so you don't get the TMR reduction when you do direct focus on Revan.
Obviously.
To Leia.
It stops all of it, doesn't it?
But you don't get the buff immunity either. So
buff immunity is locked on direct focus, isn't it? It's an irresistible lock.
It can be resisted.
Can it? I thought it couldn't be resisted. Holy
be.
moly! Let me check that. I could have sworn direct focus was irresistible.
Where's Revan?
I think it can be resisted.
How far back do I have to go down?
You do direct focus at the beginning with tenacity up, and it's still fine, right?
Direct focus.
Because JKR teams start off with tenacity.
These effects can't be copied, dispelled, or resisted. Yeah, it can't be resisted.
Can't be resisted.
I remember direct focusing tenacity up characters.
What am I thinking then? Well, you can't stun on GL anyways. Anyways, my opponent.
Terminator removal.
Terminator removal, but then also you can't afflict the ability blocks or the date. Like, it's just harder to blend debuffs on her, which makes it easier.
Does the cooldown increase work on GLs?
No.
Well, on Leia it doesn't work at all. So
yeah. Leia stops all of it. Yeah.
Leia stops all of that. Right. So
it's funny because you always think with that cooldown increase, you always think of very specific characters when it comes to that. You think of stuff like JML's first special, for example. You're like, yeah, that'll increase a cooldown. Right. Or you think about Maul using his Seething Rage when he's got 5 stacks. Like, that'll increase a cooldown, but you forget some of the other ones. You're like, oh yeah, that doesn't work. Like Death Trooper's Grenade, for example. That's not going to decrease a cooldown, or all that sort of funky stuff. And you
honestly, if frickin' without the Drogon Kron, I'm fairly confident troopers could just eat Leia for breakfast.
Nice.
Because
cycle things around.
You just have to outrun Drogon, and you can manipulate Terminator. So you throw in Moff Gideon as your 5th, who's going to always outrun Drogon.
Yep.
The only thing Leia's going to do is pull back Turn Meter on somebody on her first turn and give you some debuffs that you don't like. But once you start getting
somebody,
not with the first ability, the log roll that doesn't stun. I don't think.
I thought the log roll stunned.
It stuns certain. It might stun specific. Well, it's tag specific, right? Each tag has a different effect.
Oh yeah, it's the
So
tag
I don't
thing.
remember if she stuns supports or if it's something. I don't remember what it is. I had to go back and read it.
Oh my god, there's so many words here.
Is there a post by
giant pile of word vomit?
Holy crap, there are so many words.
But it's the log roll ability. That's the one that she'll use in her first turn.
Okay. I'm not seeing a stun here. I gotta reread all of her crap. Oh my god.
I know the stick whack ability will put daze on attackers and stagger on supports and something on tanks. I don't remember what it is now.
That's why the kit's so long. It's because it's doing different shit to different people.
Yeah, every single one of her abilities has a different effect depending on what tag she's attacking.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, but still, just tons of word vomit.
Okay, I'm not seeing a stun in the log roll. Where doesn't she have a stun somewhere?
I've seen people stunned. Maybe it's when she calls R2 to assist.
It may just be because she's calling R2 to us. I don't know. That may be it.
And he's like, "I'm a stun, y'all."
The rebel ambush is only daze, stagger, and buff immunity. Tactical offensive.
It's probably just that. Well,
I'm excited to unlock her in a couple of days, and not have any gear or Zetas to give her.
There you go. That's what happens. It's the Forever Our Princess. When Leia uses a special ability dealing 50% damage, hold on. Yeah, and it assists so R2D2 assists whenever Leia uses a special ability. So whoever she's targeting with the ability, R2 assist, and that's where the stun comes from.
Okay, there we go.
I was right. Yay! Go me! I'm such big brain.
SMRT.
SMERT. Smirt, guys.
The smirtest.
Well, yeah, the toxic Leia team, that would be hard to trooper, but you have to get past the point of the Drogonkron being in existence anyways. But then again, if you're running toxic Leia after the Drogonkron's gone, then you're just pissing away two teams.
Yeah. You think C would do well without the Drogonkron versus Leia? I mean, obviously. They're gaining a lot of buffs. Isn't that going to
You would need to run like C Treya to do well, because the durability of C is so low, and we don't really have what I would consider a solid support staff for C. Like C with the Sith Triumvirate trio, and I mean the non-named one, so Set, Marauder, and Sith Assassin, with like Watt would probably stand a decent chance, but it 100% depends on the team comp you're going against, because if they have a way to, you need to survive long enough. That's the big thing.
Yeah, of course, but I mean that's always the thing we see, right?
Yeah, if your team folds too fast, then C gets left in the open and he gets rolled. But it does work. Don't get me wrong, it does work. But
okay,
because I know people have been using it in arena. I wouldn't call it consistent.
If because all their buffs they're generating, isn't that going to pump a shitload of turn meter to C?
So no, because the only time C gains buff is from locked buffs.
Yeah.
So only when they gain call to action on the first turn, then he would gain 25% turn meter.
Oh, okay. It's only locked buffs that you get.
But yeah,
it was just meant to screw.
It was meant to counter the Imperial Trap stacks.
Yeah, that was it. Just the Emperor's Strike, Emperor's Trap.
But they also do attack a lot, so his ult should charge very quickly, right? If you just tag Leia.
It depends on who you can link, though. If they have a pre-taunt, you're stuck with whoever that is. And then if Drogon is stealth, so you can't ignore stealth. So you are likely going to be linking the tanks at the beginning because R2 starts stealth. Drogon is usually the first target for the first ability that Leia uses, so he'll be stealthed. So you'll be just stuck linking Leia or the tanks or whoever the 4th and 5th are. So
I mean, linking Leia is not terrible. Linking R2 is probably not terrible either.
Well, no, R2's stealth. So unless your C is not going to be slower than R2.
Obviously not.
He starts stealth. That's part of Leia's unique.
I mean, that would be a really fast R2-D2. Because even without mods, you should be outpacing him.
Well, yeah. Your default speed is like the max you can get on R2.
Yeah.
He's 365 base speed. R2-D2 is like, I think 330 or maybe 350 is what you can get if you have like a 170 or 180 speed set on him.
Yeah, he's not very fast.
I'm pretty certain he's the slowest GL, isn't he?
C and Leia are the same speed. They're both 365.
Yeah, they're both slow as shit then.
Yeah.
Slow.
Get wrecked!
365 base speed, so fucking slow.
Oh god, so slow. Oh man, basically crawling. Actually, yeah, I have plus 203 on my Leia, and she's at 575 speed.
She's a quick girl. Do you remember back in the day when if a unit was over 300 speed, you're like, wow, that guy's fast.
Bro, I remember doing roster reviews, and it was like, okay, how many characters do you have over 300 speed? Right. What do you got? Oh, you got 7 characters over 300? Oh, damn, you're modding hard, bro.
Yeah. Now it's like, how many characters do you have over 350 speed?
Yeah, exactly. It was just,
do you have all the top meta team or top like characters at high speed?
Yeah,
like getting your Moff Gideon 370 plus.
Gideon 370, yeah.
Is your Echo 380? Is your Mara Jade 360 to 370? You know, things like that. There's just such a high.
It's crazy how the game evolves, right? You know, but that's what we get with calibration and extra slicing.
Exactly.
The big thing is
the speed floor of this game like insane amounts.
Well, I mean, to be fair, back then we
calibration.
Yeah, we didn't have the 6E to 6A, so that nearly doubles your odds of getting good speeds, and then you get the calibration, and that just I don't want to say it doubles your odds, but it gives you a good advantage at getting even higher speeds again. So everybody's just sort of caught up.
It also gives you even chance of switching a higher defense roll to a lower flat defense roll. So
I'm really good at doing that. I'm really good at that.
Too. Like the only time I like to re-roll a stat I already have at 5 is when it's speed, and I'm praying to God that I can go from like 21 to 24 or 25, like right?
Yeah, right.
Like that's the only time I want it to ever go back to the stat I just rolled. Outside of that, I'm re-rolling the stat intentionally. I don't want it. Give me any of the other things, and I'll be happier than getting back to flat defense.
Yeah, it's like congratulations. You've got yourself another flat health, and it's 20 lower than what you originally had. Would you like to keep this roll? Fuck you, CG. I love it. Hey, we were talking about the Inquisition earlier. Maybe we should have an inquisitive section here where we talk about the Tribe Talks questions that we've been asked. We have a slew of them.
What a transition.
You can't say tribe without try, Garth. All right? So that's what we're here for, buddy. I just thought of that on the spot.
Say so.
All right, so this one is from Roy Overweesen. I probably completely murdered the pronunciation of that. And he's commented on YouTube. He said, in Territory War, if we could get the old TW back, where you could have seasons, special characters, special abilities, buffs, all that crazy business, what would you choose to be a boost? And there wouldn't be like exclusion of characters. So what would you choose to have if we had those TW buffs back? We'll go Wolfie, then Karth.
Oh my God. I mean, that's a kind of like a tough one in this day and age, because a good amount of those silly teams, like, all Wookiees, you can actually just like, that's a viable team.
Do it now.
You can actually do that. A good amount of these teams actually aren't all that ridiculous. I mean, like with the old school, like all hands on deck team. I mean, those like those silly sort of things would be great. Um, the things that I would want to see, and then the things that would benefit me are very, very different things. Because I would want to see them like do stuff like have a Jedi Council tag and make ETH like freaking Plo Koon do things and make those guys like those actually useful, because it'd be funny as hell and just like as a trolling kind of thing. But mine are shit right now, so it wouldn't help me at all. So I mean, don't actually.
If it was, his leadership is what is it? It's got a chance to dispel stealth or something like that. So if it does dispel stealth, it puts like locked heal immunity and plague on that character, but the heal immunity is locked forever for the rest of the battle, and the plague is, and that's all he has to do. Just send him against characters that stealth, and he can win. That'd be great. He takes 95% reduced damage. Just cause.
It's a lot harder question to answer these days, because stuff like that is not really out of the realm of possibilities with Datacrons and with some of the new Omicrons and with some of the new stuff that they're releasing. So I mean, all that stuff is actually a little bit more viable and realistic. So in this day and age, what I would want for them to do for like modifiers for that, I would need to like really think about that, because all the fun ones that I want to see, all the ridiculous stuff that I want to see, probably already have been done in Datacrons at this point, or they have planned for Datacrons at this point. So that's a tough question to answer. I have to think about that one. Jeez.
How about you, Carth?
Jeez,
you want to see?
Tough one, Carth. What you got for
me? If I was going to do TW stuff, I would want them to lift the bottom end of rosters and make them like annoyingly like decent. Like give Jawas the conquest modifier for a TW.
Oh, Shutagawa.
Give the Ewoks their conquest modifier for a TW. That's where if you tap out a turn, they auto stun.
Yeah.
Like, I would be okay with that kind of stuff, because for a lot of guilds, they're gonna only have like gear 12, gear 11, gear 10 versions of this kind of stuff. But it'd be fun. They could something they could participate in. It's not going to be the end of the world that it's in the game or not. I just don't want to ever do the Rochambeau version of what characters are we going to tell you not to be able to use this week.
No, yeah, but that's been exclusively removed for this. This is just buffs, not exclusions.
Yeah, so I would never want to go back to that part of it, but like some of the factions have got more powerful, but I mean like if you discount the concept of the Omicrons, like having like the B tier First Order and Resistance teams, which are now not B tier because of the respective Omicrons.
That's the thing. Like, this is a tough question to answer in this day. I mean, 3 years ago, this was an easy question to answer. Today, it's not an easy question to answer.
You just pick every faction that hasn't been touched in 2 years. That's how you bolstered. But I mean, that would be the direction I would want to go. Is I would want to go down the route of bringing up crappy factions with powerful changes that we can try to utilize in a zone or something like that if you happen to have the investment. I don't want to do things that are too gimmicky. Like as much fun as people like it, the all hands on deck thing for me is kind of a dumb concept.
It's a meme. There's just
such little synergy between everybody that it's just like, okay, cool, good times. So for me, I would probably just want to do things that like lift up factions like Jawas and Ewoks and rebel fighters and just factions that aren't part of the meta teams.
I mean, I know exactly what I would do. Mine would just be one character. It's one character. No, God no. That who needs that piece of trash? It's going to be one bonus. It's for Rose Tico.
Oh God!
Obviously Rose Tico, and it's going to be if you use this character on offense in TW, it deactivates the opponent's Datacron. And that's all I'll do. I'd just be like, all right, cool, send it. And watch everybody use Rose Tico with their rays forever. Or maybe they'll use a Zori team or something with Rose Tico. It would be phenomenal. And everybody will finally see that Rose Tico deserves to be used. That would be mine.
I mean, throw her Omicron on, and at least she's good for GAC.
Yeah, but this was TW.
Oh, man.
You know. Okay, so this is actually a three-parter as far as the questions come from Roy. So number 2 is Datacrons. Which character would benefit for the next round of Datacrons, and what kind of boost would you like to see for which character? I think that just means make up a Datacron set, and what would you like it to be for, and who? So,
I mean, I would love to see. Man, I would love to go. It feels weird saying it, but I'd like to go back to like either Resistance or Galactic Republic specific stuff. I like those light side factions. It feels like it's been a long time that we've gotten something that specifically supports those teams. I know Galactic Republic's not as far as Resistance is back, but most of their support has been through the other tags that those characters just happen to have, like Jedi or
Jedi
Ufu
ones, yeah.
or whatever else. So something like that could be interesting. Dark side of things. Man, I know the next one's there. If the next one doesn't have Imperial Remnant in it, I don't know what CG's doing. Because
it's gonna
Moff Gideon releasing with the next Datacron set that comes out in December, so I can't imagine why they wouldn't have Imperial Remnant be part of that. Outside of that, I'd like them to go back to maybe some dark side scoundrel stuff, maybe something that kind of helps Aphra not be poopy.
Sure.
Maybe some non-used Empire characters get some powerful Datacrons, make Krennic great for 4 months.
You just want to try and actually benefit off of that Omicron you put on Krennic.
I benefited in 3, but in 5 it's very hard because you have to slave Death Trooper and Krennic together, and that's a very big ask in the offensive setting. So
basically, you need a Gar Omicron to go with ISC, or a Gar Datacron to go with ISC Oma over there, and then go crazy on that, and yeah.
Those things. I just need
perfect.
I need overpoweredness from characters nobody else has but me.
Yeah, I want all the benefit, and nobody else gets to have it. All right.
Yeah, and
that seems like a fair way to play the game.
If you have R9 tanks.
If you have roughly 50 R9 tanks, that's the only way you can unlock it. All right.
There you go. Power level.
Even Karth will have to relic a few more tanks to hit that bracket, I think.
Let's check.
Absolutely crazy. I mean, like you said, it's got to be Imperial Remnant. We got new Gideon coming out over there, so that would just make sense for that. Although he'll be released for next one. So not the next one, but the next one will be Remnant, right?
It depends because the next Datacron set launches during his last.
Yeah. During his last conquest.
So
you'd have the first week where you wouldn't actually have him, and I don't know if they would want to do that.
Yeah,
they may want to hold off until a full season.
I don't know if they want to put off another 2 months though, but they could. I mean, and just do Mandalorian Imperial Remnant on the next one, and then use this one as a floater.
Because that's the thing. I was thinking Mandalorian, the Bo-Katan release, and all that sort of stuff. So they're probably going to want to be doing something around then. Yeah, do a dueling Mando versus versus the Remnant sort of thing. Could be
everyone
thematic.
Can cry.
Yeah, it'd be a
Moff
cool
Gideon
thematic
sucking
sort of
and Bo-Katan just wrecking his face.
I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
That's how it happens. That's how it goes.
So I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead. Will. Sorry. No, I was just
saying that. Go for it.
No, I was going to take the route of for this one. If I was to have any level 9 Cron come into the game, and this is not based on what is actually going to come for the next Datacron set, but I want to make Padme great again, guys. Poor Padme. And what I would do for her level 9, okay, and this would make her horrendous, is I would change it to be if Padme's in the leadership, all Galactic Republic allies gain 200% max health, but also Courage now does true damage based on your max health. And that would be it. That way she could kill literally anything. Just be like, just send her. Send her. It doesn't have, if they take reduced percentile effects, it doesn't even matter anymore. It's
No,
like,
what
yep.
they need to do,
Yep.
what they need to do,
Give her grit. Give her grit.
Okay, give her crit as well.
That would be great. That would be crazy. No, what they need to do with that is they need to make courage do additional true damage based on the character on your character's max health. So it's dealing true damage based on the character's max health that you're hitting, and then additional true damage based on your character's max health.
Okay.
And then just watch things fold immediately.
Yeah. Exactly. It's like, oh, that Malicos there, you've got crew. I don't care.
Yeah, die.
Well, I mean, crew is still going to recover, though. I mean, he's going to take the true damage and then recover because of the damage. It's still instances of damage.
It is. But
yeah,
the thing
but
if that is that
it's going to be
when
massive
the damage
instances
is based
of damage.
off of the
if million instances,
attackers.
No matter, yeah.
No, but it's why Malgus's big hit nukes crew because it's not
Malgus's
doing.
Big hit's different. That's not percentage health damage.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah,
that's exactly what I was saying. The courage
Change
would
it to
do
true
additional true damage based on the attacker's max health.
Right, but I'm saying he's still healing up from taking damage.
Yeah, but
it won't
he's
be
not
enough.
going to heal.
It would still need to be enough to overcome the healing.
Yeah, but it's not
exactly.
reduced. Like that's the thing is like when courage deals damage to crew,
it
gets reduced. So you're only dealing like 500 damage with your courage stacks, and he's healing for 8% of his max health. When
it would still need to be enough to overcome his healing.
Yeah,
because he still heals up.
Well, yeah, but it's gonna make a more sizable dent than what courage would do currently. Like, I don't think crew's gonna be
it just needs to be more than his healing. Depending on his max
Well,
health, he heals a lot, dude.
8% of his max health. Yes, I'm aware. It's what it is.
That's a decent bit. Padme doesn't hit for shit. So I mean,
that's
why we were saying
why we said the modifier.
Yeah.
If it deals
I want her doing crazy damage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would need to be enough to overcome his actual healing. That would be that's the only thing that I was saying.
Yeah.
As long as it's enough to overcome that threshold, then you're good.
Yeah. Somewhere between, as long as it's over 10% damage, it will overcome the healing.
Yep. It'll do 50% of her max health. That's what it'll do. This is my fucking Datacron. Don't steal this from me. I'm making these goddamn rules.
Unless you're a CG employee who's in charge of making Datacrons, then Scry gives you all rights to steal this.
Exactly. So there you go, CG. I've already thought of your next Datacron set. Galactic Republic, Padme. She gains 200% max health for all her allies, and we do additional true damage with Courage, which is based on her max health, and it's 50% of her max health. All right. So she's going to be hitting true damage for each 5 stacks of curry for about 150,000 points of damage. Okay, that's what I want to see.
Level 3 needs to be 100% protection up at the start of the battle for all light type allies.
And the stats have to include max health percentage. So.
Yeah, that way we don't need Gideon in this team at all.
Oh yeah, no. Well, yeah, it'll have to be a full Galactic Republic team. And maybe Padme starts with a bonus turn. Just throw that in there as well.
Yeah.
Just make it completely obnoxious.
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
this seems like a really reasonable Datacron.
Of courage, you take a
totally.
Turn.
Yeah,
and also grit because why not?
Also
yes.
grit. Yeah. Obviously grit.
Naturally. Yes,
I mean, but then people would just start gassing her or something, wouldn't they? They'd be like, "Ha!"
If they could survive it, though, because if one character could drop gas, then you're going to lose all 4 other characters before gas even gets a chance to stand back up.
Yeah, if we've got that 100% bonus protection at the start, absolutely.
Yeah, but if they had grit, too, because they can't have their max health reduced with... Well, yeah,
they can.
Sorry, you can.
They'll be immediately reduced, yeah.
You just can't have...
but...
It's percent health.
If you have protection up, then it won't get reduced, though.
Yeah.
As long as you have protection up, then you're fine. You
just got to move before echoes dispel.
We are really thinking very deep into this theoretical Datacron.
gain protection up at the start of each of your enemy's turns, so that gas can never reduce your max health. See, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Oh my god.
Yeah. All right. So the final part of the 3-parter question from Roy is: which next Star Wars TV show are you looking forward to? And is there a TV show or a movie that doesn't exist that you'd like to see?
Well, I mean, obviously, I want them to freaking canonize some Revan stuff. I mean, they've been talking about doing some Old Republic stuff and having was it freaking Keanu Reeves as Revan
nice.
and it's been teased or talked about, or I don't even fucking know for how long.
Fan
It's probably
casted?
just a rumor that was going around, but
it was. I thought it was confirmed for the Acolyte.
I don't even know at this point. But holy
he
crap!
was going to
Like,
show up as some sort of holocron
I want
or
some.
whatever.
I want some Revan action. I want some Old Republic sort of stuff. I mean, I need more of that. I mean, KOTOR was so much of like a game that I loved growing up that I need more of that to be in my Star Wars action. So that's 100% for me what I need. What am I looking forward to? I'm looking forward to them finally doing Thrawn a little bit of justice and like giving him the ability to not just fall into the just barely making it out of there. You know, give me some real Thrawn, damn it. That's also what I'm looking forward to.
Thrawn you Roto. How about you, Karth? Anything you're looking forward to? Anything you want to see?
I'm interested to see how Skeleton Crew plays out.
Sure. Jude Law's always good. So.
I just like things that aren't focused on characters we know anything about. Like that's kind of where my hesitation with the Acolyte is because they want to tie it into a bunch of Sith stuff going on. So it's like, how nutty does that become in the long run? Like I'm still interested to see it, but I don't have as high hopes for it. It was the reason why I liked Mando season 1 when it came out. It was such a stark turn away from what we'd seen in Star Wars to a degree that it was interesting. So as for new stuff coming that we know about, yeah, I would want to see Skeleton Crew. And I'm kind of with Wolf on the on something that doesn't exist. I don't know why they have not explored the Old Republic timeline more. Like there are so many things that happen in such a widespread that you could tell seasons of a story that never would even get to the Revan part of the story of the timeline. It's like you could spend an entire thing on the beginnings of the Mandalorian Wars and tell the story from both sides and from the Republic and the Mandalorians and whatever else. You could go back to the you could go back further with the first Jedi Civil War that took place. You could go back to you could do the Jedi Civil War that took place at the end of the Mandalorian Wars. You could do and
they
still
do be careful about going back too far, so it still stays like relevant to people.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, you can still tell good stories in different Star Wars settings. Like that's the problem I think we have is like there's almost too much of a desire to have something that's familiar, and it's like as long as your writing doesn't suck, I think most Star Wars fans are happy with Star Wars content.
Well, like you're talking about Mando season 1 and everything. Yes, it broke new ground. Yes, it was different. Yes, it was whatever. It was also the season of Baby Yoda. So, if that's not familiar and bring us back and whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean, no, I'm with you.
It's also it's breaking new ground, but it's still got that familiarity. It's still like definitely Star Wars and stuff. So they when they balance that, I think they do well.
Yeah,
when they balance the new and everything, yeah.
They need something in between. I'm definitely with Karth here. I want them to be a little bit more adventurous. That being said, when I come to it, like I'm most looking forward to, same as you, Wolf. I want to see what's happening, whatever happens in future Ahsoka seasons. If they, well, it's already been confirmed, isn't it? Season 2. Because I've liked that, and I want to see what happens with Thrawn because I think it's sick. And even though I said I want them to tread new ground, as far as a TV series that I would really like them to see make that doesn't exist, I want them to go back and canonize Starkiller. I would love to see Darth Vader with actual fucking Hayden Christensen as Vader and bring in Sam Witwer to play Starkiller and reimagine that as a fucking live action. I'd love to see that, man. That would be fucking sick. And actually get to canonize him again as part of the actual Star Wars lore. That would be I'd fangirl over that more than a little, to be honest. That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
Yeah, I like some of the I like some of the takes they have on Starkiller now. That explains his power
thresholds.
They have to turn that shit down a little bit. I mean, come on.
No, well, so
they had new game engines and wanted to explore them.
Well, that's part of it, but they've come back and they don't want to like diminish Starkiller's like power, and so like the way I saw, because somebody wrote an article on part of it because they were explaining it was Vader talking to Juno Eclipse, about basically Starkiller being dead and what happened, but basically he was so unbalanced in the Force that he basically pulled from all sides at the same time. And so he was a conduit for that, but he couldn't control it. So it's like every time he was doing something crazy, there was a high emotional strain that made him have a more powerful connection, but it wasn't consistent. And so it's like he'd have these huge moments of being able to pull a Star Destroyer out of the sky, but then the rest of the time it's like he's struggling to beat Jedi Masters who haven't even been part of the Jedi Order for a decade.
So it's like, you're telling me like that they're saying he is the Psyduck of the Force users. Just like he's either really fucking crazy strong or he's just got a bit of a headache.
Yeah, and so it was an interesting way to spin it, because like people really don't want to see Starkiller diminish to the point where it's like you have the name but you don't do anything cool. Like Vader's not afraid of your connection to the Force, because like he needs to be a rival on that front, but if you add the unstable element to it, then it makes it more interesting, because like he's got a more powerful connection than Vader does, but Vader can control his and he can't. So that would be an interesting way to do it. And then in that little snippet, he talks about how Vader had him cloned, and then the clone is having a hard time with reliving the memories of his past that he doesn't understand. So
the other really great thing,
same man you loved.
The other really great thing about making a live action Starkiller series is we could have fucking Proxy, and I just fucking love Proxy, man. Proxy's
not
just
where I thought we were going.
Proxy's pretty
but
dope.
no, you're thinking Juno Eclipse.
Live action Juno Eclipse.
You would think of Juno Eclipse. No, I love me some Proxy, man. Who doesn't want a droid that's trying to kill you? Like, I mean, come on.
Well,
he's like, I nearly had you that time, Master. It's like, thanks, Proxy.
It's gonna be next time, Proxy. I believe in you.
The fact that Proxy is like their best surprise mechanic for their cinematics in the first one, where they're just like,
love it.
Hey, why is Kenobi here? That's weird. You're like,
you're like, what?
Oh, Starkiller just totally killed Kenobi, and then it like fades back to Proxy. You're like, oh, you sneaky devils.
Yeah, but they did it the same right at the end when Proxy gets killed by Vader. It's like, who is he? Who is he then? I can't remember who he shows up as.
He's Kenobi.
Oh, it's Kenobi, is it? That was Kenobi because of it.
Yeah,
so
he
good,
tries
man.
to kill him as Kenobi because it was trying to distract him.
And that's just it, man. Because if they reenact the scene where you fight Proxy yourself near the end of the first Force Unleashed game, they could have Sam Witwer do the Maul voice as well. It would be perfect. I have one protocol you've not yet seen, Master. See, that's why. See, you just need to bring me on Disney. I'll give you ideas for TV series. Yeah, people will love it.
Idea man.
I'll be the idea man. You can pay me in Disney bucks.
1 hour a day.
You need a good writer too. Like, it's not just the idea, because they've got a lot of good ideas.
Nah.
Well, not good is relative.
Writing's overrated.
They've got ideas.
So we have another question here from a guy called Zerkthan, who's also on YouTube. What character mechanics, unique buffs, etc., do you find interesting but underused in the game currently, and what would you do to improve them? Ooh, that's interesting.
Interesting.
Underused mechanic or uniques?
What? Underused mechanics or uniques? I'm like bringing up my freaking roster over here to scroll through shit real quick. I mean, underused. I mean, obviously we got to go with captive, because Hondo is the only one with captive. So clearly it's underused because he's the only one who can do it. So I'm going right there.
Every GAC.
you make up like 60% of all Hondo use in the game, Wolf.
Yes.
He's so damn good.
He's actually very good.
Underused mechanics.
The one that I think that is, there's two things that come to mind for me. The stacks mechanics, because I think that's a little underused.
Like on B1
for what,
and
like
Dark
yeah,
Trooper.
B1 or B and Dark Trooper.
You're
like,
not going to be thinking that in a little bit after doing the raid for a few months with all of the stacks and working on the stacks. You'll be like, God damn it, no more stacks. I want
but they're
no
not
more stacks.
quite
Stop the
the
stacks,
same
guys.
stacks. Not quite the same stacks. But I would like them to utilize that mechanic more. Like the way B1 does it is interesting, and then B2 does something different. That is still, or not B2, Dark Trooper does something different. That's still,
Right.
but you still utilizes that. I would like them to do with that with other units where like they kind of have that, like they have different stacks, so like you can kind of get a better feel for the usefulness of a character. Like it'd be kind of cool if Stormtrooper had stacks of things, so you can kind of have a more powerful taunt, but it does endure a little bit longer than what we have currently in the game, and things like that. That'd be kind of interesting. The other one I would like to see more of, especially with legendary characters, is kind of like the Star Killer effect, is when they hit a stack threshold with like it gets the unleashed. He then gets that new locked buff that comes on top of it. Yeah, like the AdRad thing, except for it would it'd be interesting to kind of see more characters that kind of utilize that.
Kyle Katarn
Because
as well,
then the mechanics become more interesting to play with, because there is a different objective than just smashing the crap out of the enemy. Like that's a byproduct of what you're doing, but like you want to get Starkiller to his ult. The majority of the matches, you want to get AdRad to his ult. You want to get Kyle Katarn to Jedi Knight stance as fast as possible.
Do you want to get Slacker to his ult? Do you want to get Ray to her ult? Do you want to get Lord?
Well, yeah, but the GL ults are a little different. I mean, they're not quite the same idea, but I would like them to do more stuff with that, especially with legendary characters, where like they take a little time to power up and then they become more powerful. So you have an off chance window where you can deal with it with a non-GL counter before, but if you stall too long, then it becomes a problem. It just mechanically for me, I would like those kind of changes, because I like fights that are more mechanically driven and not just, well, if I land all my crits, I'll win.
I'm gonna go
that's fair.
with a callback to a discussion we were just having, and stealing stuff from your opponents and benefiting from your opponent's stuff. I feel like this doesn't get used enough. Like Grandmaster Yoda. What's up?
Like Siphon?
Yeah.
I mean, Siphon, I was gonna say more like Grandmaster Yoda goes and steals all of your buffs and says, "Oh, thanks for all of your buffs. They are now mine, and they are now my team's. Go fuck yourself for having all those buffs. You are a fool."
Yes.
So we were talking about Proxy and everything, and Proxy goes and takes the shape and takes the form of whatever character, whatever Jedi or whatever she needs to take place at that point. So you have your Proxy over there, and you have him taken, either taking the form of one of your enemies, or like copying a form of that, almost like a ditto kind of mechanic from Pokemon, sort of deal.
Proxy would be the perfect character for that as well. He would
be. That could be a lot of fun. Something mechanic where you're stealing stuff from your opponents and you're benefiting off of that, and saying, okay, well, I can now take this over here and take this over here and take this from over here. I mean, something along those lines. I think is a very interesting sort of thing, which doesn't get used at all.
Yeah. So. Mine would probably be a riff on that. I would like to see a character given a slightly different variation on ability block, where it's like you use it and you can literally choose one of their specials, or you could choose the basic. No, you can't choose the basic, because then there'd be a time when they can't do an attack. So you can choose one of their specials and you can disable it for, say, 3 turns. Like you can't use that special for 3 turns. That's just locked down. You can't use it. So it's slightly different to ability block, but it might give you a little bit of a nuance, So it's locked, so you can't dispel it. It's just that ability you can't use for X amount of turns. Something like that would be kind of cool. But obviously they'd have to integrate it.
You got your Mandalorian. He just can't disintegrate for like 5 turns.
Yeah. Imagine something like that. Or if you could even stop a GL from using their ultimate. They go full ult, but you can't use it. Locked it. Sorry.
Right.
I think something like that would be cool.
Cryostasis.
and the enemy just cries. Yeah,
because the ability blocks don't affect GL ultimates. You can still ultimate while you're ability block. So if it was like an upgraded version of the ability block, that'd be a cool mechanic.
I think it would add like a layer of strategy to things, because it would be one character, one ability for a set number of turns. I don't know how many. That would require balancing, but I think it would have to be something like three turns minimum sort of thing, and definitely not dispellable, because that just kind of because there's so much cleansing in the game nowadays that it would just be a non-issue, right? And it would be really great when it get like it'd be even more powerful in 3v3, but when it comes to like a 1v1 scenario, that would be like really useful.
Bro. Imagine.
Be like, 1v1 me, bro.
You can't use either of your specials, sorry.
You could just basic. You know. It would I would like that.
It's like the Lord Vader when he was an ult, and you would just sit there and he was just like, ability block.
Oh my god. Yeah. And you're dazed and your ability blocked. Yeah, something like that I think would be cool. I mean, it'd be a powerful ability. It's something a little bit different to what we've normally seen. So, okay. We've got some more questions here. So this one comes from Tosh, I think. He's actually sent in a voice clip, but I won't be able to play that for you guys, so I'll just read it out. Your question is about Slacker, says Tosh. Sorry, Scribble. Don't want to open up old wounds. I owned 330 shards thanks to the Lightspeed pack. However, I only got GL layer on Monday and have very little gear. He's asking, should he activate his Slacker even though he's got no gear to really put on them, and 150 Zetas, which means he could fully Zeta Slacker up. He's just torn between, does he do it on GL layer or Slacker? I mean, personally,
go for first.
Yeah, I think he's got them. I think he's got both of them unlocked. He's got layer and Slacker unlocked, I think. Yeah, but he wants to know who he should invest in. I think that's what his question is.
The layer.
Yeah, I would have to go with layer, like, because she's new and shiny, and she's also freaking good. Not that Slacker isn't, but that would definitely be my slot. And asking offensive use or defensive use. Layer, I would say for now defensive if you've got the crons and everything. Just my take. Yeah. If you went Slacker, I would say offensive. He's too useful offensively.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any
Slacker's
discerning
on defense. Yeah, Slacker's on like house on defense. Definitely used more offensively, 100%. And Leia, bro, Leia's a monster.
She's not a defensive GL though, guys.
No, not a defensive GL. She just has like the highest hold rate in GAC in defense.
Yeah.
But she's not a defensive GL.
That's 100% around the corn on, the datacron that's in play and things of that nature. So in 3 more months, I don't think she'll be the same menace that we see today.
Oh yeah, it's gonna change drastically, and maybe more on offense and maybe more of this sort of thing. But we'll see what that ends up looking like. I am looking forward to that.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage.
I mean, she'll still probably do stuff on defense. They'll still like probably be tough to get through. I mean, they still should out damage with that, even without the Kron. And they may have another Kron in a few months. Maybe all they need is 200% armor pen, and suddenly Drogon is just a monster. And there could be something coming out. Who the hell knows what little thing they release, which just makes them monstrous again.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, though, it's the Kron adds so much to like stopping most of her counters that's why it carries so hard, because the Kron prevents ability block and fear until their first turn. So if your JML outspeeds Leia, you cannot land ability block on her. They get 200% additional health. Leia's ult is hitting like a damn truck because of this. So like it's one of those things where it's like it's so dug into the fact that the Datacron exists that I think once it falls out, every counter that we have, Jabba's going to go walk all over her. JML is going to walk all over her. Probably Lord Vader will end up doing something useful against her. That one I'm not really sure about, to be honest, because they cleanse so freaking much.
Slacker.
But I mean, Slacker already does, but I mean, it's just
will be more reliable.
Yeah, more reliable. You won't need to bring Malicos, and you'll have some other things you can do. But that's my thing is I once that Kron falls away, you're able to do those kind of things again. It's going to be fine. More people are going to gravitate towards the Drogon Ami as time persists, which means you're never going to get guard on Drogon anyways.
Yeah.
So you're going to just get to the point where you just can stun lock him into the floor and then he's not a problem. But the other thing too is everyone starting with Keen Stratagem is a huge boost. That's
it is massive.
Offense
50%
and potency
offense.
to everybody across the board. Like that's
and
a
Drogon's
big
mass assist or his call to assist as it's like Hermit Yoda. He calls everybody with the master training. He calls me with the Keen Stratagem. And it's just
so he calls everyone. He calls everyone to assist, and the fact that the bonus turn allows him to get a stun out on turn 1 because he can stun on when he uses the basic on his turn. So it's like there's so many things that will change when the Datacron goes away that I think that Leia's going to be it's for people who have no experience fighting her. Sure, still a struggle, but people who have been doing it for a while, the counters are going to work
be
far
so
more
much
reliably.
Easier.
Yeah.
In 3 months.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We got a lot of time to learn it. All right. So moving on. Next question is from Corvin Smite. Hi, Corvin. Thanks for the question. What do we expect the new Mandalore bow team to be? Do we think it's going to be an upgrade to the more Mando squad or more in line with Gas Malgus level? Or is it going to be a current dark side Mando and Gar with IRC with mass swarms and assists? So basically, what's the new Mando? Well, I think there's
mechanically.
There's a little bit, yeah. I think it's like, is it going to be around a Gas Malgus level, and what do you think the actual team's going to be? I mean, personally, I think the writing's on the wall. It's going to be a light side Mando team.
Yeah,
we're going to use BAM, we're going to use Bo-Katan, we're going to use Paz Vizsla, we're going to use IG-12, and then probably Armorer, most likely, or maybe OG Bo-Katan for the heals. That's where I think it's going to be going. That makes sense to me. A light side Mando squad. As far as power levels, it's going to be off the freaking charts. Like it's not going to be GL level, except for the new Datacron. Then it will be freaking powerful. But I think it's going to be huge,
without a doubt.
I think it'll be on par with EP Starkiller levels of craziness. Personally, I think it'll be that good.
I would say so. I mean, considering this that it's a hero's journey or legendary or whatever the
epic confrontation.
Epic confrontation. I'm losing my terminology over here.
There's so many different types now.
Epic confrontation. General Skywalker can beat Galactic Legend Rey. Can beat JMK without Cat. Can do all of those things. The newest epic confrontation is going to be at the absolute minimum on that power level. If she's not killing GLs, then what the hell are they even doing?
They've said with her Datacron, she actually will.
Yeah. Well, even without the Datacron, because I mean, Starkiller doesn't need that. I mean, Gas doesn't need specific Datacron to kill certain GLs and everything. But I would think that even without the Datacron, she's gonna be killing GLs. So
maybe she'll have something that she's just particularly effective against. I don't know, but I have a feeling it's going to be like a must-have team for competitive players. I could see it being very powerful, and we know they said already in their announcement post that with her Datacron, she is going to be killing GLs. So it's going to be something that's going to be strong.
I mean, as long as we get the version of her that is, on par with like Starkiller level of powers in consistency, and not like an Afra version where it's like, oh yeah, by the way, I just don't function every other season of GAC because reasons.
3v3.
I mean, she's still annoying because of 100% Terminator at the start is an annoying mechanic no matter which way you want to slice it.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's detrimental. It's not impossible to work around. I mean, Han and Chewie usually make quick work of her. So I'm hopeful that that Bo's got more potential than that. If she comes out with relatively Gas's power levels, but has 3 Omicrons, so that way inside GAC she's even better, then I'm all for it.
They did say GAC, right?
Yeah, she can't be worse than Seer Malicos, and that's not saying that team's bad. That team is good. That team is beating GLs inside of GAC.
I killed Lord Vader with them yesterday.
My opponent last round killed Rey. Like,
It's great.
Like
nice.
it fights GLs, and so like it that's a conquest character plus a couple marquees. So if you want to do all two brand new marquees, a journey character, and then an epic confrontation character plus one. We don't quite know who that's going to be yet.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be a huge. That's going to be a huge team that does a lot of powerful things. As far as mechanically speaking, they already hinted to us that they're going to be doing Bo-Katan plays off will add additional effects of true damage. Is what they were aiming for. So
I like true damage.
There'll probably be a clause whenever true damage is inflicted, something else triggers in your kit. So like if you take true damage, you take an additional 5% of your max health as well, or whatever else they want to do. But it's something similar to that.
But one thing we know for certain, though, is that this is Mando season 3 Bo-Katan at the end, right? So she's Mandalore Bo-Katan. So it means she's going to have the Darksaber. And if there's one thing we know about CG, is if a character has got Darksaber, they've got Armor Shred. So she's going to have Armor Shred. And maybe it'll be, when you attack a character with Armor Shred, you do true damage as well. Or something like that.
Yeah, which would then bring a fat reason to take armor, to take armor with your team instead.
Yep. Maybe she'll have an AoE Armor Shred. That would be nice.
Doesn't Sabine do Armor Shred?
Yeah, she does with her Darksaber. Every Darksaber character does.
Not
Armor
AoE though. It's
no. Yeah, but she does have an AoE. That's annoying.
Her AoE is actually really good with the Zeta. Yeah, AoE stagger and expose. Sexy. Yeah. So I think she's going to be freaking awesome. Also, if CG does not implement a special on Bo-Katan that shows her lounging on a throne, they fucked up. If they do not do Thirst Katan lounging on a throne, then they've missed an opportunity. They've missed a golden opportunity, and it'll have to buff all of the BAM in your team. Buffs them up nice and good, nice and shiny. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, real good.
Real good. I can't wait, man. It's going to be sick. It's going to be sick. Okay.
For sure.
So our mod squad extraordinaire over here, Mole Troops, based on the shit with the new way the raids looks, do you expect some characters to be way better in the raid as compared to normal? Better in the raid? I think he's saying better in the raid compared to normal game modes. And yes, I think so, but I'll let you guys lead on this, as though I led on the last one.
So the raid is going to be a little bit strange. So they released the list of all the abilities and everything. They released their list of all of that stuff, and it looks they are all sharing specials. They're all sharing that stuff. Some people have more specials than others, and it's actually kind of amusing. Like shittier characters like Lando and Wedge only have one special. Ewok Scout only has one special. As opposed to better characters like Han Solo and Jedi Luke have two specials. So
it's probably because those characters themselves have got two specials, right? So it's just replacing what they've got. Whereas Ewok Scout's got the one, I'm guessing.
So to me, that would inherently make them better in the raid if they have more abilities and more specials that can do more stuff. It almost seems like it may not be as much of a deal for the raid and see how that ends up working out. So it's really just going to come down to that for like their actual performance in the raid. And then I mean, as we said, all the stats and everything for the raid come down to your modding, come down to the uniques and whatnot. And just again with one of those things, your better characters are naturally going to have better mods on them, which will enable them to do more work. Like my Jedi Knight Luke is going to have over 10,000 offense to make sure he can actually get all the extra damage and going to have all the stuff, and he's going to be more useful because of that. So it seems like mostly it just comes down to pick your characters that have specials and more mods, more relic levels, more everything, and they do gooder.
They do better things gooder. Yeah.
Yes, all the good.
Any thoughts, Garth?
Stuff.
I mean, we touched on it at the beginning of this whole process. It depends on what they do with the uniques and leaderships and how they modify those. That's going to be the biggest impact. Because like if you change uniques to add crit avoidance or health steal or evasion or more health, more protection, whatever, everything that they've touched on in that post, then that's going to play a much bigger role than, well, I need a full rebel team. Like I need Leia, Han, Chewie to go in here and kick butt. Like it's not what exists there. So it's like, it's too hard to say what things are modified to what. And so until we have an idea of what that even looks like, it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean, I'd love to say that the mechanics that we can plan on right now, but there's just, like you said at the beginning, we learned a lot. I still don't know what's happening. Like,
we learned a lot, but not enough. I think there are going to be characters that operate better within the raid than outside, because there are some shit characters on that list. And that's about it. And being able to put some damage in the raid automatically makes them more useful than never being used in the game at all. Like Scout, for example. I mean, sure, maybe some gerbil guy uses Scout for something, but most people don't use Scout, and for good reason. But there might be that one subsection of person that has got some relic investment in Scout and needs it to fulfill a team in the raid. That's the only way until we get more information, that's the only way I can really see it changing their effectiveness compared to inside and outside the raid. And I'm okay with that. That's okay. Let's see. I think Smash had a question. Smash had a question. Who's the best fifth in a Leia team? Garth, I'm shitting this, and Wolf, you've got Leia as well, so you guys can take the lead on this one.
Right now, if I'm not running the Han and Chewie, I'm running Old Ben and Captain Rex, because I don't have a Phoenix team. If you had a Phoenix team, I wouldn't be running Captain Rex and would be running something other than that, probably Baze. But I figure I have Captain Rex at Relic 7, might as well use him.
Can we all just make fun of Wolfie for not having Relic Phoenix right now? You all give me shit for not having Afro and No Slacker. Wolfie doesn't have Relic Phoenix. You suck, Wolf. When are you getting your Phoenix geared up? There we go. Okay, I just had to get that off my chest, and I feel so much better now.
You feel better?
Oh, yeah.
Flip that out.
I'm going to sleep well tonight, man. Sorry, brother. I'm completely derailing.
It's more fun that way.
Yeah.
God, what were we talking about?
Best fifth in the Leia squad.
Oh yeah. So I don't have Relic Phoenix, so I'll do Rex as the fifth of there. Old Ben is great. I need more relics on him. Probably want to go to like 8 or 9, something like that. In PvE though, it was recommended to me, and I have been having very good luck with it, using Baze Malbus and then actually Mon Mothma, because Mothma can resurrect Baze and Drogon as they're both rebel fighters if need be.
That's kind of nice.
So for PvE, she's very good.
Dispel too.
Yeah, the constant dispel, all that stuff.
And summoned as an extra unit, which dispels.
Yes.
Yeah. Nice.
Yes.
Pretty decent overall.
So yeah, PvP probably Old Ben, and then for the fifth would be if you have Drogon available. Sorry, not Drogon. If you have Captain Rex available, great. If not, then Baze is fantastic on that team, I would say. Garth?
And Garth, what's your thoughts?
Oh man, when it comes to the game right now, I am enjoying utilizing the Omicrons that are available in with the different characters.
He's going to come out with the farm boy Luke now. God damn.
Hey, I haven't had a TW yet where that doesn't get a hold. Yeah. So I'll take it. But Farm Boy Luke is a fun one for me as a fifth for TW, but it's a super luxury thing, right? It's only for a game mode that you only play 4 times a month, and so I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. I want to use it on offense desperately to see how high Luke is critting, because I know when I saw
Van Seal,
test footage of it, I think it was Van Seal, but I don't remember if it was his footage. He had like 600k on basics coming out of Farm Boy Luke. Like he was making Drogon's damage look like it was piss.
Yeah,
it was just like, oh god, this is this is nutty. And so, anyways, I think that would be interesting to see. Princess Leia, I like for GAC just because I like the mechanics that she has in play.
Omicron as well, guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
the mechanics means he has the Omicron.
Yeah, well, because it provides turn meter, it provides a heal, it does more for the team than just her being an attacker. It kind of helps fill in that support a little bit because the Leia team only really heals from Leia's kit, not from anybody else, depending on who you have, of course, as well.
I'm actually really surprised that Princess Leia hasn't been an R9 sub goal on this channel just yet. Like,
hey, always got the
how has that not happened? There's always the next one, buddy. Sorry, go ahead.
It's a good question.
But
Princess Scribble over here,
doesn't have an R9 Princess Leia. What a slacker!
Doesn't even have Leia yet, but you will have Leia at R9, so we'll call it a good substitute.
I will. That's close enough.
Overall, though, on the actual fit I would choose most consistently would probably be Baze. A Rebel pre-taunting tank is very powerful. I don't really want to give up Old Ben. Old Ben gets a nice boost under Leia, which gives him a lot of initial viability and tankiness. And there's some benefits
the Jedi tank specifically,
yeah. But because I've run against Kanan and Old Ben before, and that is still an annoying comp to face both of them. It's just the reason why
neither of them are pre-taunting.
Yeah, that's the exact problem. The reason why Baze ends up being the best fifth 90% of the time is because he pre-taunts. So if you're going to use Slacker, you have to go into Baze first. You can't ignore him like you can with the other team compositions. So it changed things up a little bit on what you want to do. Toxic Leia is another can of worms. I don't really care for it. It's the rage right now, but it's being one tapped fairly consistently. So it's just an expensive counter and is cron dependent. So if you don't have the crons, you're going to suffer. But I mean, the only reason Leia's good is for the same reason too. So it's just same. You're almost equal investments.
Just fighting. Like where I am, everyone has the counter cron.
It's true. Everyone does.
It's some deep waters that he swims in.
When everyone in my bracket has 50 as the minimum level 9 datacrons. It's a different can of worms.
Only 50? Look at those fucking scrubs.
That's
not even
minimum.
55? Not minimum 58? Oh my god.
Come on.
Jeez.
Scrubs. Absolute flipping scrubs, a lot of them.
Yeah. But I mean, it just depends on what you have as an option. But yeah, there's a lot more of them where I'm at. So you have people that have level 9 datacrons for, upwards of 30 battles on offense. So it just gets to a point where eventually they break through everything. My opponent this last go around was able to, he went against my Toxic Leia with JML and lost, only killed R2D2, but was able to clean it up with Starkiller. Which he was incredibly impressed by. Because he didn't think it was going to win with Drogon still being alive.
That is impressive.
But it's just there are things. She's not bulletproof. It's for some people she is, depending on what you put on defense. But then that just means you got to plan differently. If someone's got Leia right now, it's the same as Leviathan. If they have those, odds are they're on defense because they're the most annoying things to deal with.
It's almost like GAC requires an element of strategy.
I mean, the amount of effort.
I really want to see what my opponent did on for next week, because I put for round 1 I put Toxic Leia on defense. I got Han and Chewie on there, and my opponent saw that I had Leia and just said screw it and put
I remember
7 of his GLs on defense.
Yeah, he was like, fuck this guy.
He managed to 2-tap Leia, but then racked up 3 attacks on Jabba, 3 attacks on Rey, and didn't get through. I want to know what he used to 2-tap Leia. His gas was on defense. Maybe he could have star-killed it or something, but...
Reva is pretty good to get a couple of kills in with a death mark if he didn't have her on defense.
Oh, it may have been Reva, actually. She wasn't on defense.
So it could have been Reva into Starkiller or something like that. Yeah,
it may have been Reva.
maybe he tried to do. I don't know. Like Triumvirate could do stuff to some. Like Jabba could take away the ads in a Jabba squad, but maybe he just didn't have anything left. Well, if you've got 7 GLs on defense, you don't have a fucking lot, do you?
So prior to the Drogon Kron, Reva beat the shit out of most Leia comps. So because whenever they attack a support unit, which they're going to a lot because the AI is an idiot, they're going to cleanse themselves, and then they get themselves death mark, and then you just go and hammer on whoever you need to kill. So it just comes down to when the Drogon Kron falls away and they don't start with the bonus turn and they don't stun somebody out the rip, I think it's going to be Reva back to being the #1 counter to Leia, which then means she quits being on defense.
Yeah. Which I'm looking forward to, because I want to actually use my damn Leia. It feels like a waste having her on defense. I know she's more useful there, but I want to use my toys, damn it!
Let me use my goddamn toys!
Right? I see. I'm the asshole who like takes all the new characters. Like when Hondo first came out, people put him on defense and whatnot. Me and Karth are just like, fuck that! We're gonna go face Malgus. Let's do it. The shit out of here.
It's fun. It's always fun to use that. But the problem is when you go in and you go, I'm not actually sure how to really effectively use this team on offense because I've done it like twice. So it worked once. Let's go for it, guys. Send it.
That's the fun part. Figuring it out, doing the science, doing the testing. I mean, that's what it's about.
Yep.
And doing it live.
In front of a live studio audience, much like this Tribe Talks is. Make sure, guys, that you follow us all on Twitch, even though Karth doesn't actually Twitch. Wolfie and I both go on Twitch. So follow him on Twitch.
I mean, you can follow where I go on Twitch. I'm quite a few places on Twitch, just not my own channel.
Karth, you are not quite a few places. You only ever visit myself and Wolfie. You don't go anywhere else. We are the only YouTubers and Twitch streamers that you follow, honestly.
Remember when Twitch used to like tell you who your Twitch friends were watching?
Yeah. Does they not do that anymore?
It was like your Twitch friend is currently viewing this stream. You should join them. It was like, okay, it's kind of creepy.
Oh yeah. Or you could be streaming and you'll see one of your friends is not watching your stream and you're like, you fuck, son of a bitch.
You could be streaming and realize that your friends are all on Amaranth's channel.
Yeah. It's just for science, though. It's just for science.
It's just the 4 o'clock wank. That's what's going on today, folks.
I think it was
the 4 o'clock tug.
I think it was Ricky P like 2 or 3 years ago and took a screenshot of me like the wolf is viewing Amaranth like, hey wolf, how's it going?
I love it.
Got a redhead fetish.
Oh man.
So, that is the end of our questions this segment, guys. So if you are listening at home, make sure you jump into my Discord channel or jump on one of my YouTube videos or this one if you're watching it. Leave us a question for the next Tribe Talks and we'll be sure to try and answer it. Do that. If you can send it voicemail, even better, because that'll be funnier. Appreciate you guys. I don't know what we should do next, guys. So take the wheel. Jesus, take the wheel. Jesus, Kenobi, take the wheel.
I am now in stall pattern. My opponent and I had the same.
We call it wolf pattern.
Yeah.
Wolf just calls that any day of the week.
Wolfie method for this last round of GAC because
I'm activating Wolfie protocols
to be difficult because I don't want to win my last round. I don't want to be inside the top 8. I don't find it enjoyable. So
this is such first world problems coming out of Karth. He's like, oh my god. I'm too good at this fucking game.
I wanted to take the turtle approach. The turtle approach to life. And my opponent did the same thing. So
okay.
We both have 7 GLs in the front wall.
Oh nice.
Jackasses.
Yeah. That's gonna be a scrappy GAC.
But it's interesting. It's interesting what each player decided to defend.
JML.
Who'd you save? I saved JML. Yeah.
Okay. Who did he
to kill his Ray?
To
kill his Leia.
Yeah.
He's got Jabba, C, JML, and Ray in the north.
Okay.
And then he's got, I believe, Lord Vader, Blacker, Jim K, and Leia in the south. Oh, he's got all 8 in the front wall. Sorry, my bad. All 8 in the front walls.
So he's
That's
not gonna
beautiful.
probably clear much on
So
my.
you just need to pick a wall and.
But the thing is, though,
have
the
fun.
interesting part is what he decided to defend.
Because he put Leia south. South is worth less points.
It is. Yeah.
So it's like,
so
why wouldn't
he's
you
a big doo-doo head.
Why wouldn't you put your best characters in the north, where they stand a higher chance of winning?
Because the one GL you saved for offense was meant to counter Leia, who is in the south. You have been big.
Oh my god!
Ha ha!
He has Uno reversed, double bluffed you with that one. I mean, you're fucked, man. I mean, you want to lose.
Been allowed to
There
keep
is
his
no
entire
recovery.
defense for offense. He's now gonna just roll my board.
Yep, done, easy. There is no recovery from that. Sorry, Carl.
Yeah, because my front wall north is C Treya, Seer Malicos, Slacker, and then Toxic Leia. I decided to run it this round because I'm gonna put for the other team. I'll tell you here in a second. And then south, I've got Rey, Lord Vader, JMK with C-3PO, and then Afra with B1, B2, and L3. Because Afra, if you don't have CLS, is really obnoxious. Especially with L3 sitting there, because then you have to kill everyone twice.
Yay.
Well, not twice, but sort of. She has a savior mechanic that prevents them being defeated.
Oh,
for droids, right?
Zeta, right?
Yeah, and I've got B2, so he's gonna constantly take reactive turns and dispel the fuck out of you, and put down more debuffs so that she gets more siphon. Yeah, it's annoying, but his teams are interesting because he didn't put down Toxic Leia. Oh, that's actually interesting. He didn't put down Toxic Leia, but he
just
put down
normal
Slacker.
Leia.
He put down Slacker with Night Sisters.
What?
Oh well, that sounds like Imperial Troopers. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, no, there's no zombie though. It's Talia is the fifth. It's Daka, Marin, Asajj, and then Talia.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's still revives. You can still potentially.
Yeah, just kill Marin and you're good to go. Like, why is that a problem?
No, it's not a problem. It's just interesting. That's all.
No, it's just.
I vote you Imperial Troopers.
Well, my Imperial Troopers are fighting a slug. That's what they're going to be doing. So they are in different waters.
Yes,
so
I forgot.
They've already got a call.
It's got nothing to do with Magma Trooper, guys. Nothing to do with that.
Get people in trouble.
Yeah, these nuts.
Well, I mean, in fairness, I don't have access to any of the guilds that do that. So
may or may not have some sort of counter to some sort of team using a certain team. You don't have any of that.
There's a lot that goes into it, man. Like it's a taxing team to put together. It's a fun counter, but it's a taxing team to put together. I wouldn't recommend it for a lot of players. You could beat Jabba with Phoenix for a lot less investment. That's all I'm saying.
Which I do sometimes.
You just can't take
in
high
TW
damage,
is very easy,
which is unfortunate because that's my Phoenix card right now. I need to rework that one a little bit. I need to circle back on finding something that has a lot more armor pen and a lot less crit damage because like 4 thermals will kill a character for me right now.
It's very irritating that your own crit damage is your own undoing against Jabba teams. It's annoying. It's really like I want to increase my own crit damage, damn it, without being punished for it.
Yeah, and so I'm just sitting there going like, all right, well, I'm just gonna wait until tomorrow morning. I'm gonna see what he does first because I'm interested to see what his plan is. Because typically I go light on defense, which I think is why he went ultra heavy, and then I went ultra heavy. So now we're both in the same mode.
You are invoking the GOM.
Oh yeah, and his Rey team is dumb too because it's got Malicos in it.
Oh no!
It's like, why did you do that? Oh my god, you silly man.
You are invoking the GOM protocol and just having a slugfest.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty confident with what I've got available. I should make reasonable headway on his north section and I should be able to clear that with what I've got open.
Okay.
So, but it's just going to be clearing north, clearing ships, and then praying to God he can't do this clear 2 zones on my end. So,
That's all I'm hoping for.
Wait, aren't you trying to lose anyways?
I am trying to lose, but it's
so
one
why
of those
you
things.
Oh my god, you're just strategizing and going, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta do this. Oh, by the way, I'm trying to lose.
No, don't be fair. Let me correct that statement. I am not trying to lose. I was okay with not winning the last round. Because I don't want to be inside the top 8. Because if I win, I will be inside the top 8. Because I'm 14 right now. So another 42 points, and I'll be dead inside the top 8, and I don't want to be.
So you want to win, but you don't want to win, but you're
okay. I want to win because I like winning.
But you're okay with losing.
We know the feeling. Like this is like when Card says he's not going to wail on something anymore. We all know he's just saying that to himself. If he gets the opportunity, he's gonna do it. He's gonna win, or he's gonna wail, or sometimes both. So it'll happen.
But yeah, it'll be interesting to see that one. I all 8 on defense though. This guy, I'm surprised. This guy is just turtling to the top. That's his plan. Is basically lock out anybody from clearing.
Strategy. Turtle to the top.
See if it works out for him.
Hey, no, 100% though, because unless both opponents do, like this toxic defense, where it's just everyone's place all their GLs, like odds are he could always clear 2 zones, and it's not 100% possible for your opponents to do that to you. So it's one of those things where it's like you got to roll dice on what you're able to do. So
this is why you don't want to get into the top end of Kaiba 1, guys, because there's a turtle fest out there. Everybody's turtle heading.
Well, yeah, it's like that's like Van Seal's Van Seal's doing right now is just turtling. He's 7, 8 GLs every time he's on defense, and it's like most his opponents try to pick somewhere or try to like get the hard counters out of the way, and they don't focus, and then they can't clear like both zones in the front, so they get like two teams down in each zone, but then they can never clear a wall.
Exactly, and if you can't clear a wall, it's never good. Hey, Wolfie gifting us up to Desicrum. Thank you, Wolfie, buddy.
Points. Turtling was my strategy for this particular round of GAC. Typically, I'm actually I'm an offensive fighter. I do not typically play defensively.
I usually play by sort of like flopping around like a wet fish out of water. I'm just like hoping something works.
Yeah,
that's how I do GAC.
I used Flash 20 times, and now do I activate Gyarados or what's going on?
Exactly. When do I get to evolve?
Yeah,
come on.
I need that power play.
I used to always play like a lot more offensive heavy because I would take it a bit more seriously and be all efficiency heavy and get the perfect counters, the perfect everything. Recently, I've been having a lot more fun just like having a few too many drinks and just like throwing shit at the walls and seeing what sticks.
That's fair.
And that
that's Friday Night Gags, mate.
Yeah, you can't put a light defense down and you can't like play heavy offense and also do that. So I need to start playing like heavier defense and like place a bunch of shit down to make up for the fact that
I need my defense to compensate for the amount of whiskey I'm drinking.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty much how my GACs go. It's I'd say I probably go like a 70-30 split, 70% defense, 30% offense. And then I just hope something holds on my defense, and that's how I win. I hope. But, hey.
It's fun to go back, though. Like, that's like the alternate account. I'm kind of okay with it being as low as it is, and I kind of want to, like, intentionally keep it low. Because I like beating up the handicap kids. It's a lot more fun for me to
Thanks for the 100 biddies there, Desi. Appreciate you, bro.
He's asking about crit avoidance for Timber. So I was going over the all of the raid stats the other day on stream, and I'm like stoned and drunk and trying to justify everything. And so physical crit avoidance, whenever you have 100% or higher, like the higher crit avoidance that you have, it removes 8 additional stacks of timber when removing timber. So I'm like, yo, man, it's like you got the crit avoid because you got the timber and you're bringing the logs down, and like you're bringing the logs down
So you can bring more logs down. If you can have more crit avoid, you can avoid the logs and go around them. So as long as you get like the crit avoid, you get more logs because you can remove the timber. It's perfect, man. It's great. It makes sense.
See, I was immediately thinking when we were talking about timber and crit avoidance, I was immediately going to the sex jokes and thinking about you need crit avoidance to make sure you don't rip through your banjo cord. That's because your wood's going to get broken, and you don't want that. You need crit avoidance.
Here I thought we were headed
Garth with the 200 biddies as well.
I was hoping for some Kesha.
Kesha, the artist.
Yeah, a song called Timber.
yeah. Okay, so there's not usually an episode of Tribe Talks without a little bit of karaoke. So, Garth is today's karaoke singer.
Oh, I'm sorry for all your bleeding eardrums.
Take it away, Garth, with Timber.
No, I'm good. I'm good.
We tried, guys. We tried.
Well, to be fair, one of the abilities, if anybody hasn't seen the list of the abilities, Galactic Legend Leia has had her ultimate ability replaced with "It's going down. I'm yelling timber." So.
Yeah, baby. Yeah, that's exactly what we want. We want Leia going down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm.
Oh
yeah.
man.
And we're demonetized again.
What?
Oh gosh. Another time again for the week. I don't know. That's how it goes.
Indeed.
That's how it goes.
Sadness overwhelms me.
But yeah, we had a wonderful analysis of all the red stuff. I apologize, Garth. I completely cut you off.
Oh, you're fine.
No idea what we're talking
No,
about.
it's just fun to go back and play in the like Kyber 2 and whatever else because I don't have to try very hard to do okay. So it's just like every single opponent I've had this round has less than 5 level 9 Datacrons between both sets.
That would be nice.
Oh, wow.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
So it's middle or bottom of Kyber 2 then.
Yeah, it's I started towards the middle bottom end of Kyber 2. So it's like it's been an absolute joke because it's like I've got 30 I think on this account between the two sets. Okay. So it's like I just put my best ones on defense and my opponents are like, yeah, so I tried my counter versus your GL and it went to hell because I don't have a Datacron. I'll take my 10 banners and dip. And I'm like, okay. So it's like I don't have to care about efficiency or anything else.
Meanwhile, there's me hanging around at the bottom end of Kyber 1 facing a guy with 67 Relic 9s. Garth gets 5 fucking Datacrons. Goddamn.
Yeah, because my last round, my opponent scored 36.
Oh, nice banners, 36. Yeah. Double digits. Nice.
Oh, and the previous one, he did full clear me, but it was pitiful. My score was 1836 to his score of 1665.
Nice. That was a close one then.
His entire defense.
I felt kind of bad yesterday. I have the Leia on defense with the Han and Chewie and everything, and it's a hell of a time. Amazingly, incredibly gracious, very very nice Twitch viewer was hopping in chat and everything for the battle. He kept his Leia for offense and tried to mirror, and it just went to shit. And
oh no,
that's sad.
Yeah, it was. I really felt bad about that. It was such a gentleman about it, but yeah.
Was he not? Was his Drogon not faster than yours?
It was slower Drogon, lower relics, and non-ult.
Oh god, yeah, he didn't stand a chance then. Not a chance.
You walked into
the meat Joe, thank you for the 2 subs there, buddy. Appreciate you, man.
Oof.
Yeah, that's.
Hit a hat trick level.
Oh, hey, look who's subscribed now.
Who did Job and Job? How did you? What? Oh, Rambam. Rambam's finally subscribed.
Fucking slacker.
God, what a slacker. I mean, he doesn't turn up to TW, and now he doesn't turn up to subscribe to me here on Twitch. God damn it, Rambam.
I figured he was doing your TW because he wasn't doing our TW. Okay.
No. Well, last I checked, last couple of hours, Ram still hadn't got an attack in a TW. So I'm going to assume some officer duties and just kick Ram. Sorry, Ram, you had your chance, you blew it.
I assumed it was like an alternate. Like he does one for each guild. Like it one a week, one the other week. I don't know.
We'll
there's a chance.
Something.
Yeah. Oh, he did a bunch on fleets? He did. He turned up for fleets. Ah, I guess you get to stay now, Ram. I guess you get to stay. God damn. God damn.
Two battles. Hey, in fairness, that's you know, about as good as the rest of the guild. Just they did it sooner.
Not me though. I did all my battles. I got shit done. I killed like 3 fleets.
He does not have the lowest amount of rogue actions in the guild at the end of the TW. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's impressive. That's impressive.
He wound up in the middle of the pack in the last couple of hours.
That's when we need people to turn up. It's the last couple of hours.
Yeah, in fairness, I'd actually, once I saw what the board state was this morning.
You're just like, I'm not going to bother attacking anymore.
I did, yep, 100%. Yeah. I saw what was going on and just like, nope, they're not winning. They've got to clear. They've only had 1 zone cleared with 3 hours left. So I was like,
I just seen Desi over there. Ram is fucking awful at all guild-related efforts. Yeah, it's only like half the game then. So what part is he good at, Desi?
R9 platoons.
Ah, yeah, that's why we keep him around.
Unfortunately, it's not on this account. That's in our guild. It's the other one.
God damn it!
But yeah, they had 1 zone clear with 3 hours left. We had 4 zones down. They were still like halfway through the 2 zones left, which was Lord Vader and Jabba. So I saw that and I was like, they have to clear Lord Vader, Leviathan, and Reva Inquisitors in 3 hours. It ain't happening.
It ain't happening. No.
And I was like, all right, I'm going to go to my other morning activities.
Yeah. I'm going to go shower, shave, and move from there. Well, clearly you didn't shave, but...
well, yeah.
He trimmed.
Can't get rid of the beard. I did trim, but that was like a week ago, so...
Oh. It happens.
Yeah. It happens.
You didn't notice last week, Wolf? You've hurt my feelings.
Oh, my God. Then you actually... Oh, yeah, you do have to bug him to actually put the operations in as well. I mean, I feel like we just need to hire somebody to just slap Ram, stand next to him and slap him and be like, hey, do your stuff. Do your stuff. Hey, Essex, thank you so much for the 2 gifted subs, buddy. Tyrannus got 1. That's good shit. Thank you, Essex. Appreciate you, brother. But yeah. So Ram doesn't TW, apparently. But he joins, though. He joins. He's good enough to join and set defense, maybe. Yes. I didn't check if he set defense. I didn't check that part.
Is something he's capable of.
Yes. Thank you, Garth. Topping up the hype train there. Woohoo! We hit another tier of hype train, which does
nothing during this podcast.
Does absolutely nothing. Well, I mean, I'm also not drinking, so. No.
Yeah. No shoeies prescribed. No.
Shoeies of water instead.
Yes.
Scribe will do a wet t-shirt contest. No, I won't.
Far less interesting.
I'm afraid I was very, very drunk.
We do need another reappearance of Princess Scribble.
We do. I mean, that's true.
I would prefer the cosplay. Hey, let's do a wet t-shirt contest in the Princess Leia cosplay. And I want you Stark under that robe.
I'm this carpet in here.
We'll put you on a little pool. Down. Put a kiddie pool down.
Yeah, done.
Okay, I'll have to buy a kiddie paddling pool. I'm sure Amazon has got some.
Pool and then just have Mrs. Scribble sit in the chair and throw water at you.
Well, I tell you what, we could get the camera set up over the window over my back garden. We've got a hose, and I could just be in the garden like, help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi, you're my only hope.
We're about to make a very interesting parody of some Star Wars scenes.
Oh, my days. Somehow we have become derailed. I don't know how it happened, guys, but, you know, it is what it is. It is, yeah. It happens. You just got to go with it sometimes, guys. Got to go with the flow. Buy a kiddie pool with that mustache may raise some questions. You're probably right, Thrawny. I think I might look a little bit sus.
I mean,
I'll drive away with my white fan saying free sweets.
We don't know if Leia was bald in the show or not because she wore so many wigs.
then they'll think I'm like murdering people, right? I'm just buying lots of tarp. Yes, I'll take that extra bleach and that lime shovel and rope. Come on.
It's the fall. I'm cleaning up leaves off of my very large yard with all of the trees and stuff. Yes.
Yeah. I also have to hide a couple of bodies later, so yeah, it'll come in handy.
Yeah, I mean,
just make sure you just murder an animal and then put that a few feet above the body, and then you're fine.
Exactly. They'll find the animal and then they'll stop looking. Like, we found it, guys. It was just a raccoon. I don't think raccoons exist near me, but that's okay. I'll get a squirrel or something.
A squirrel.
Plan it all out.
As Ventress.
No, oh my god.
That would be funny.
Because I'm bald?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I could pull off
like 80% prepared for the cosplay.
You are ready to go.
Like, you just need to shave that mustache off, and then you'd be.
Oh no! I think we do Ventress with a mustache. I think that'll look hot. Ventress with a mustache. Yeah, I could totally pull that. I mean, I don't really have the chest for it, but I could totally pull that look off. Absolutely, I'm most of the way there already. I mean, she's a little paler than I am, which is impressive, but not as pale as Ram, so it's okay.
Well, I mean, that's fair.
Yeah.
It's a hard bar to pass.
It is. I mean, I would have to live in a cave with a box of scraps, make an Iron Man. Well, I'm getting totally crossed wires now. Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps.
So Schwoga. Oh my god.
Oh, /Fan Rhodes coming in with 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you, /Fan Rhodes, you hero. God, what a legend, dude.
Someone's gonna have to R9 Rex before Leia.
Oh, don't you even? I still think I'm a little bit away from that. So I think we're okay for now.
You're
but no more subs.
230, I want to say.
Oh, don't tell me that. I can't actually check right now.
You should be somewhere at like the 250 mark, so you're only 50 away or so. Maybe.
And it's time to end the stream, sir. Thank you all, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you all tomorrow evening. We'll be doing our GAC.
Hey, you got Senator Fredo in that batch too.
Woo!
Job.
Fucking Catastrophe, Friedson, Pixel.
I don't actually know how. I think we're further than. I think. What is it? Yeah, no, we're at 229. We're miles away yet. Don't worry about it. We're miles away.
We are 71 away.
Exactly, so, which is also
an extra 21. That's doable. Someone get GL Lucas on the line.
I mean, this isn't a Ram stream, guys. We don't do that here.
I mean, that's not true. We do it here. We just do it way less frequently.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. We do it like once a quarter, and that's okay. That gives me enough time to actually build up the relic mats to do it in the first place.
I mean, that's been hard for you to do anyways, because in the last 2 months, you've unlocked 2 GLs.
Yeah, one of them was the hard way when I could have just spent fucking $10 on a pack for Slacker. If they would have just released that a couple of weeks ago.
About that.
Man, it fucked me so hard to try and get GL Layer after spending all that gear on Slacker and then having the pack drop.
In some defense, I would say that the gratuitous whaling that happened after to try and get Leia with all the taking advantage of all the stuff is what has exasperated the situation you're in, because instead of doing your normal time frame between GLs, you are drastically shortening that.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I somehow hit the whale button. I don't know how it happened. It just like money appeared in my PayPal account, and I was like, I guess we just got a whale now. And I looked at my Zeta horde, and I was like, oh dear lord, 2 Zetas is not quite 6 Zetas that I need for my layer.
No, unfortunately not. But you get 5 tomorrow. Woo-hoo. Actually, technically, you'll get 7. Because you get 2 from the daily, and then 5 from Conquest.
Oh yeah, Conquest is ending.
Oh. Shit, I always forget to like spend my energy on the last day of Conquest, because I'm like, oh, I'll just spend it later after I finished work. And then I finish work and Conquest is finished, and I'm like, shit. I usually find out when I open my mailbox and it's like, Conquest rewards. And I'm like, yay, Conquest rewards. And then I go, damn it.
I quit caring a long time ago about spending all of it beforehand, because I'm like, I'll do it in the morning when I wake up. I'll delete whatever I've got from over the night.
Yeah,
put it in. But I quit trying to preload. I quit trying to do all that stuff because it just doesn't matter to me anymore. It's like I'm gonna get.
Preloading makes sense for a new conquest round. Whenever
won't
there's new
argue
feats,
that.
there's new everything. For something
Unless
like
you're
that,
Karth.
preloading helps.
It
If
does.
you're otherwise though, if it's like for next conquest, I'm not preloading. Like there's no real reason to.
But for
No,
me,
neither.
the reason why I don't preload is because I'm too lazy to figure out how to do all the feats. So I just need to clear, especially since the next one is going to be a new Datacron set. So I just need to get to Sector 4 and farm for 4 days or 5 days or 6 days. And then by that time, Scribe will put out the videos for the feeds and then I'll come back and do them.
Exactly. It's job done. Job done.
As though it's like, I
plus,
just don't care.
You're also forgetting to mention the fact that Karth spends 1,000 crystals a day doing just conquest, right? I mean, just conquest.
With the first one, the first conquest of a new Datacron set, I'll do 1,000 a day on that, just because it's the cheapest place to get upgrade materials, and when you want to have 15 to 20 by the time the first conquest ends, you gotta get to it fast, and you gotta spend a lot of time doing it. So
it's hard being a whale, guys. It's hard. You just
got. It is a lot of work.
You gotta get those crystals. You gotta spend them. Yeah.
But the advantage is that at least with the simming on the treasure nodes is like, if all I'm doing for the first week is simming, it's a lot more luxurious on the time. It's like, I maybe on the weekend of the first one, I might spend some time and crush some feats and whatever else. But like the actual first like couple of days is like, we just do a bunch of battles, then we get to sim, and then I just sim. I'm done with my whole dailies and everything else in 15 minutes.
I like it. I like it.
Nice
Thank
place
you all
to be.
guys for the hype train there. Appreciate y'all. Big love. Yeah. I'm looking forward to next conquest, not the one coming up, the one after where we get new units. I always like the first round. The first round is always fun. Yeah. The first round is always fun.
You can make videos.
It's new.
See, and that's what I'm interested to see. That's what actually I want to know the most out of anything else that's coming. Is the next conquest character the 5th for Bo-Katan? I mean, probably not.
No.
But
no,
it's gonna be a lifter for C.
IG-12. It's gonna be
Bam, Paz, and either armor or
Paz,
Bo-Katan.
and then I guess armor probably. Yeah, Bo-Katan, one of those ones. So
one of those,
yeah.
I'm with you, 100%. I'm interested to see what the next one's going to be, because it's usually indicative of where they're headed. I would actually also be okay. Well, the other thing too is I'm just so sick of Dark Side. Can we get a freaking light side?
Oh my god,
conquest
that would be nice. It's been a minute.
So I think we need to have another lifter unit for Ray.
Can we get Satil Shan and as
please.
An OR lifter for Revan?
I like it. My damn Force Ghost Yoda to be a lifter for
and can he have a manic little laugh, and he can call down lightning to set people on fire? So it does both shock and burning.
That would be awesome.
But then people will be like,
"Fuck characters that have shock in their kits.
Fuck this Force Ghost Yoda. He's a sequels character. I hate him." That's what that will be the.
It's
that'll
probably
be the public
honestly
response.
the reason why we don't have more from that series.
Probably.
Force Ghost Yoda. Damn it.
I mean, I'm with you. I just.
Skywalker.
Yeah.
Good times. Good times.
Look, well, overall, the movies were shit. They did have some good moments. I will give them
They were
that.
redeeming qualities. You know,
there were a few, without a doubt. There were definitely a few times where the sequels had some good moments, had some good things, had some whatever going on, where I didn't entirely hate my life watching them. So
yeah, exactly.
I will give them that at least.
All right, guys. I am
Vespa
going
Gang.
to.
Oh my god,
the Vespa Gang was the best. Yeah, let's get them. Sarcasm. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up here. Anything you guys want to touch on before we say good night and adieu and auf Wiedersehen and all that?
Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, adieu, adieu, to you and you and you. No. All I'm gonna say is hold off on judgment on the raid and how everything is going to work until we have the final mechanics, until we have all the abilities, the uniques, the leads, and really can have a full appreciation of how everything is going to work on that. Just because that was the big news point. That was just the raid stuff. Let's just we got a lot of information. Let's digest everything, go over stuff, and then with the new information, and then probably judge from there. So keep an open mind. That's all I can really say about that.
We need more raid info. That's for sure.
Yeah, just keep an open mind. Let's get some more info, and then move on from there. So
sounds good.
Go. Give me Cobb Vanth. I don't know what we're saying.
Yes, I'll be down for Cobb Vanth. Fuck yes. Cobb Vanth is cool.
I wasn't listening, but I heard character names, so I'm just throwing one in there.
Yeah, no, I like it. Cobb Vanth, I'm down for it. Let's go. And can it go with Dadbot Boba to make him useful?
Well, give me some scoundrel synergy or something. Give me something.
Yeah, fair.
Whoa!
Scoundrels is only a small faction, right?
Hold on. Cobb Vanth? You want scoundrel synergy? He is a
smells
lawman.
profit. But
he can be both. Cara Dune
he does it in a very scoundrelly way. This is like having a thief that's lawful good. It's just
he
crazy.
is a marshal of a town in the middle of Nowheresville. It's no different than what Jabba does at Tatooine.
The Cup could be a scoundrel too, man. It is a dastardly little scoundrel. Is that
Clone
Cup?
Wars Chewbacca is a scoundrel. How? Riddle me how.
Well, you would be able to understand what he says, but he speaks in Wookiees. So.
Clone Wars Chewie, he was on the island with Ahsoka and everything, and they escaped. That doesn't make her a scoundrel. I don't fucking that one. Yeah, that's a good one.
He knew a scoundrel.
Clone Wars Chewie, why the hell is he a scoundrel? That makes no sense. Clone Wars Chewie was not a scoundrel in any way, shape, or form. I'll give you that one.
Therefore, Cobb Vanth can be a scoundrel.
Wait, is Clone Wars Chewie a scoundrel?
Yeah.
Why the hell is he a scoundrel? That makes no sense.
I think probably at the time he was released, it was just to have faction tags that he could go with.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I don't know. Probably, I don't know, man. Every Chewbacca's a scoundrel, so there you go. You're all caught up.
Fair enough.
I like it.
He is the only Chewbacca that's not a smuggler, so there's that.
Yeah, he hadn't quite taken up that profession just yet. Yeah, that comes later.
Definitely not a smuggler.
Yeah. He could smuggle porgs under his armpits, though.
Scoundrel.
There's an image. He certainly doesn't want to eat them. Anyway, right, we're going to finish up there then.
Yeah, that's fine.
Somebody needs to put a gag in Cart's mouth.
That's all I want.
Yeah, Cobb Vanth would be a sick character. Yeah,
I had one today.
Oh, saucy. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to this another wonderful episode of Tribe Talks with my wonderful hosts, Wolfie and Garthrick. Thank you, gentlemen, kindly. We shall see you all next Sunday. Bye.